What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 1 and welcome to the Gaming Grindhouse. It's your host, Jez7780 here. What grinds my gears? And I'm here with my co-host, Frogs Dope Gaming. Frogs, what's up? How you doing, man?
Oh man, I'm doing great. Can anybody hear us?
I think so. It's a mic check on episode 1. Mic check. First time doing this big thing. But yeah, I think they could hear us. But, I just wanted to say thank you, everybody, for coming in and thank Frogs and stuff. And then this is basically going to be a podcast that we're going to run. And we're going to just have topics. There's going to be some cool segments in here. We're going to have fun. And, thanks, Frogs. And, I know that, we were together on the Planet Xbox back years ago, and then we did the Ultra Preset podcast. Shout out to Merc. We're going to have guests on this show, and, I really think we'll do some cool stuff and have a kind of a podcast. And, Sam Ash says we are good. So, with that, Frogs,
okay, great.
I think we should give everybody a peek into the Gaming Grindhouse as we welcome them to the Grindhouse. So without further ado, welcome to the Grindhouse. Welcome. So, the Gaming Grindhouse. We are here. Grind away, says Dominic. What's up? Bog has been here. Sam Ash. What is up? How you guys doing? J-Cat, how you doing? PlayStation Kings, what's up? Barbecue Souls. There he is. Buck Roger. Giving thumbs up hours ago. I was messing around with the new YouTube stuff. I'm trying to switch this over to friggin' YouTube, man. It's been crazy. But Frogs. So, Frogs, just to introduce Frogs, man. So he was I remember the last time you were on, we did the Grinds My Gears, right? And you were on and we did the we were trying to find you a PlayStation 5. And finally,
Right.
you were able to get it with the good luck of Merc, hooked them up. Merc 305.
Oh man, Merc came through, man.
Yeah, I
know,
he
came through.
And then Frog got his PlayStation 5, and he has not looked back since. So, what have you been playing, Frog?
Let's see.
Pretty much everything, I think.
Man.
I haven't seen. We've been pretty much everything.
I've been dabbling all over the place, but okay, let's just name my main games. So Cyberpunk, I'm close to 100 hours in Cyberpunk.
Yes, now Frog doesn't like Cyberpunk. I played about 5 minutes of it. I'm done.
I've been loving it. It does have its issues, and I can see I can see what they were going for, and I think this game needed at least a good year more under development. So I've been rocking out on that. I've just been enjoying the side missions, the stories, the atmosphere of the world. I am playing currently on a PS5, so no, I haven't been having the bugs as much. Every once in a blue moon now, I get a crash. So basically, let's just say I play it during the week.
You got a couple crashes. You're telling me.
Yeah, I may crash during a week. I may crash 3 times, which isn't, still isn't good. But out of a 7-day period, that's damn good compared to when I first started playing it. I was crashing every 30 minutes.
Yes.
And so I've mostly been playing that. I just today started playing Star Wars Fallen Order.
Okay.
I think I mostly started playing it because I had it and I never really got into it. And I heard they did a big update.
Yes.
And so I said, let me download it. And if I'm not mistaken, I think it's like 1440p, 1200p, something, but 60 frames.
Yeah.
So 60 frames is what right now. I'm having a great time just playing with little I play, trying to enjoy the story. Still don't like the way the main character looks. I think he's just a
it's a real actor, isn't it? Like a real actor though.
It's a real actor.
Is it from Shameless? As a matter of fact, from Shameless? I don't know where.
I think so. All the people in there are real actors, but there's some of those people in there are just not very.
The other lady I know, she used to be from Mad TV.
Yeah, the lady with the big eyeballs.
Yeah, she was from Mad
Yeah,
TV,
she
man. She
looks
used to
like
do
that in
Whitney
real
Houston all the
life.
time.
Yeah, she looks like that in real life.
Oh,
And
Sam
I just
SA's
did
playing
this.
Fallen Order too. Yeah, I
Yeah.
started it because I got it with EA Access. They held out, man, for over a year with EA Access and everything.
And I am also currently me and shout out to Luca Yardi, my buddy Dre, his wife, and my wife. So it's the two husbands and the two wives. We are freaking going hard on Road Company,
Yes.
and we're just having so much fun on Road. I'm gonna tell you what, out of it, there's a lot of games that have come out from last generation to our current generation now, and with the current generation, if I could say there's a game I really want to get that ray tracing, like really a lot. I really wish the team behind Rogue Company will really do a big graphic overhaul. The gameplay is great, but I want a big like ray tracing. I want everything in that game. That's an addictive game. It's kind of like one of those things they say, your comfort. That's something that's it's my comfort gaming food. Like anytime I can go to that game and just have fun. I've already platinumed the game, but
Yeah.
I enjoy the game. I enjoy earning the characters. I enjoy trying new things out. We have a blast on there. I think that that's a game I'm actually going to start when I'm playing it. We have a group on PlayStation on PS5 called the Total Fan Bam, and so there are about 10 people in that group. But when I go live, when I think from now on, when me and the wife, and then my brother in arms and his wife start playing, I think I'm gonna go live and start streaming that because some of the moments we have in the game are hilarious. Is we just have
Oh
fun.
man.
We sit there, we just have such a great time. It's
Dude,
such a
I
great
was in the
time.
chat with them. I was trying to wait because I was downloading a whole bunch of games, and I think there's a new glitch now where, or new issue where if you're downloading games and trying to play online, PlayStation has this whole
Yes,
like these errors now where like it like kicks my
yes,
Wi-Fi off and stuff like that. So I gotta like
yes,
restart the console to get back on my Wi-Fi. So like I couldn't play
yeah.
online while I was downloading a whole bunch of games. I locked down a whole bunch of games in the sale, but
Let, let
with
me
oh good.
Let me ask you a question just real quick because you said Wi-Fi. I've not since I've had my PS5. I've not tried it on Wi-Fi. It's been hardwired the whole time. I've not tried it.
I'm all
Uh,
Wi-Fi on both of them, and actually they've been
wow,
fine. They've been stable.
I haven't tried it.
It ran into that weird glitch when I was playing. It was Call of Duty with downloading games in the background. Like I don't know if Call of Duty has some sort of network and prioritization or anything like
Call
that.
of Duty for PS5 or Call of Duty Modern Warfare and
PS5,
the
no
PS4.
PS5 one.
Okay, okay,
And I
I
and I
get
didn't
you.
know what the hell was happening to it. So like I'm downloading games because just to get what I downloaded, I locked down a whole bunch of games in the sale. So like I've been just
Right.
scooping up every game that I could possibly get. PlayStation 5 sales and also sales with physical. So this was one of the things that I talked about when when we were discussing about the digital and the physical. The fact is that there's a lot of sales that you miss out on when you don't get the physical
Yes.
edition. Like I ran out
Yes.
to GameStop on Sunday because they had the path
Hmm.
list for $29.99. And they only had two
Wow.
physical version of the path list for $29.99. So I ran out to GameStop and I waited for them to open at 12, and I pre-ordered it. I ordered it right from the front of
So
the
you made sure
store
you had it.
because I saw one was
Right.
sold as I was waiting. And I was like, oh crap, there's only two of them. And I had to drive to the one GameStop within 250-mile radius. Only one had it. And
That
it was probably about
sucks.
like 15 miles away. So I got the pathless. I locked it down for $29. I still have Phoenix Rising, which I got.
Great game.
I know
Such a great
you
game.
sold me on that one.
Oh,
I played that.
yes.
I didn't play that yet, but I got that at Best Buy when they had a sale before Christmas for $29.99 for $35. I think it was $35. And then
Hmm.
I started Assassin's Creed and I did a video on that. And then also I got some of the sports games there. I could tell you FIFA looks absolutely
Yeah, I picked up
incredible.
FIFA.
Oh my
Incredible,
god, it
incredible looking game.
looks
I
insane.
think I think out of all the next gen games, or I should say, I won't say next gen, all the current gen games that got an update, I would say FIFA and 2K look the best.
Oh my god, yeah, and FIFA and 2K definitely are the best lookers of them. Madden,
Mhm.
I think Madden looks good, but I
It looks
still
good,
think
but
the
it's
snow
not
looks
there yet.
weird. Yeah, and hockey doesn't
Right.
have any upgrades at all, which sucks.
Nope, not at all.
And they don't even use the Frostbite engine. They have
And we'll
two
see what
things they
happens
don't
with
run.
baseball this year because we know baseball's coming. I think is it multi-console?
Yeah, I think it's
So we'll
multi-plat
see.
this year. So like, yeah, we'll see what baseball looks like. But yeah, like so the but I've been playing so I've been playing Temtem, which I really enjoy. I like that game. It's a good break from Demon Souls and from like just all that stress. You just play Temtem, which is like a Pokemon open world online game. And also I also was playing the oh, what was I playing a lot? Oh, I played Borderlands. That got the PS5
Yeah,
enhancement, the two Borderlands
that's a
3.
really good
I
enhancement.
uploaded my save and I played that. And man, I like missed that game. I was like only like maybe 10 hours into that game. So like it was good to play that. And I did my other tomb. Oh, Marlesco says he just picked up more Phoenix Rising physical for $30. See, that's what I mean. Like that's why the physical PlayStation 5, if you're still looking for one and you could spare the $100, like I know it's hard to spare $100 nowadays and stuff like that, but like you do open yourself up to more sales. Like the PlayStation has good sales digitally, and you can get the cards and stuff, on Amazon. But like these stores and the way these games, I never seen over the last few years physical sales of games be so aggressive. I tell you, it's pretty crazy how aggressive they are with physical sales. These stores are desperate to get you in there, and they're
Yeah, I
dropping
don't
those
think they have a
prices.
choice though. I
I
think they
know.
have to do it
I think
because
it's
if
a
you look
combination with
at what
digital too.
happened,
The convenience
did you see what
factor.
happened at the end of this year when? And we I called it, you called it too.
Yes,
I
Buck
said
Ryder says never
Ubisoft
buy
games are
Ubisoft.
like,
Yes.
yeah, Ubisoft. You never buy Ubisoft games because they're going to be $29.99 a month or two after.
Yeah,
That you never
exactly.
do it.
Ubisoft always. Never buy Ubisoft. Never go full Ubisoft. Do not buy Ubisoft games full price because they always go on sale. And yeah, I'm gonna say like Assassin's Creed. I played Valhalla. I love Vikings, and in the Assassin's Creed, I'm just like, I'm spoiled by what I've been playing with Demon Souls, the looks of that, with the looks of Spider-Man. Like it's just, and then
Ghost of
Ghost of
Tsushima, the update.
Tsushima.
I'm
That's what I was
spoiled.
just about to say. Like Ghost of Tsushima. I, I going into Assassin's Creed, like I said, there were just weird animations and stuff like that. But like, I'm gonna still push through and play some more of it. But like, Ghost of Tsushima is so smooth, man. Their combat is
I think it's
amazing.
when you go from Ghost of Tsushima, you see that it's a PS4 game and they update it and they runs it 4K 60. And when you go into it, you're playing it on the PS5, and then you compare it to Assassin's Creed Valhalla to on the PS5. Assassin's Creed Valhalla doesn't touch Ghost of Tsushima, not even in with the pole. It just doesn't.
I know.
It's just like it doesn't look as good, it doesn't play as good, it doesn't feel as good. And I don't think that Assassin's Creed Valhalla is a bad game. I just think that it's kind of using, in a sense, most Ubisoft platform like recycled material, and there's nothing that's really unique about it. Whereas Ghost of Tsushima was a brand new IP, it came out of nowhere. It ran really well on the base PlayStation to the PS4 Pro, and the fact that you get the 4K 60 on the PS5 is like, holy crap! Like
Yeah,
when
it's
I turned it on
smooth,
the
man. That
PS5,
combat's
it felt
smooth.
so
It's
incredible.
crazy, and
Oh,
I'm
it felt so
constantly stopping
incredible.
and taking
Yes.
photographs and stuff of it because it's just
Yeah,
insane.
that's what you feel.
Oh,
Yeah, you feel like in that game you have to do
and
that.
Frog, I didn't tell you. So the other game that I played, you heard me. I was downloading it when you guys were going crazy, and I got a whole sidetrack about what I was playing. But Frog and his friend and his wife, they were all into the Rogue Company. They sounded like they were winning the friggin' national championships of video games. The way they were calling out strategies, like he's on your ass, he's gonna get you, pick me up. Like man, it was like esports. I was like, listen to friggin' esports. But I was downloading Dirt 5, right? So I've been playing some
Yes.
Dirt
Did you play
5.
it?
Yes. So I've been
Yes.
playing some Dirt 5. I have to say, there's no racing games for next gen at all, really, unless you want to replay,
Right.
a Forza or the what is it, Gran Turismo. But I did
Right.
Dirt 5. I tell you, it looks pretty good. Like it looks good. The car models are not as
Hmm.
sharp as any of those other racing games, but I tell you, the environments and stuff, that it looks pretty good. And the coolest thing, and I'm going to tell you this again, and it pulls through for me at least, is the adapted triggers and the rumble in a car game. So I've been kind of an addict of this whole kind of what can you do with this controller. I've been spoiled by Astrobot. Let's see how other genres now use this controller. And now they might still have like learning to do, but let me explain how Dirt 5 uses this controller, right? So the right trigger is definitely hard to press like like a pedal. So like it doesn't just smash down; it
Wow.
actually gives you put attention, right? The brake does kind of a click, like it's not as smooth as a brake, where it'd be like a brake is more of like you're pumping the brake, so you could pump them, right? But what's interesting is the sound and the vibrations. So the vibrations, when I think the coolest feeling is when you hit a jump, everything on your controller just like goes away. Like you don't feel any kind of tension or anything like that. But when you hit the ground, the controller vibrates in a certain area where it hits. Plus the triggers give you feedback, like if you were like jolting down and hitting the ground. And I was like, whoa, like I just liked hitting the jumps. And like when you get that, it's exactly how you would probably feel. Now, again, I'm not no goddamn stunt master. But if you took a car in the air and when you landed, you had to like reshift when your wheels hit the ground and you had to reshift with your wheel, that you kind of get that feeling with the triggers. Like you hit the ground and you kind of have an uneasy steadiness with the triggers and the vibration, and it's pretty cool. Plus, you feel the dirt and stuff. Like if there's a dirt map and things like that, basically you feel it at the lower left hand corner of the controller. Like you feel it going out like down the bottom. And the same thing goes with the sound. Like you hear it coming out the bottom rear of your headset when you like kick up the dirt and the gravel. You could hear it at the bottom part.
So it gives you a real response of like driving a
Yeah,
rally car.
it's pretty interesting.
Interesting.
Like I have a force feedback wheel and things like that, but I do think like it is definitely pretty interesting. Now it's definitely an arcade. Like it's not no simulation. You could smash into walls and there is damage, which the thing. Yes, Buck. So I got two questions here, but let me just say there is damage to it, right?
Mhm.
And there is your doors come off and you get cracks and scrapes and bumpers fall off, which I didn't. They said there was no damage, but I think they meant no damage in the sense that it doesn't make your car like steer differently or pull or anything like
Right.
that. But but as a so barbecue sauce says, do you prefer the trigger effects to the trigger effects in Forza? Yes. Now, because what I'm saying is, Forza did the rumble, but it was very simplistic. This is kind of like next. It's different.
Just the next step, the
Yeah,
evolution
because
to it. Right.
the cool thing about the one thing about the Forza ones, and what's up, Pug Channel? How you doing? What the thing with the Forza ones is that you'll feel the rumble like when you're turning and stuff, and you'll feel like when your thing is skipping, but that's about it. This one you actually get feedback and pushback when you're pressing down, like yeah, and also too the controller vibrates a very slight bit on the right side when you change your when you shift your gears. So like when you're going from like 2 to 3, you feel a little like doom, doom, like you feel that in the controller.
That's cool.
And it's an arcade racer, so it's not super sim, but I'm telling you, the thing is that it's pretty neat. I thought it was pretty neat how it was implemented. The game looks pretty good. So far, it's pretty easy, but there's a lot of racing in it. The car models are not that great, and also they're rally cars. Like there are real cars in there, but they're rally cars. So I don't know all the different, like oh wow, here's the '80s version of rally cars and things like that. But it's on sale for $41, and for 55, I think 55, $54, you get the whole season pass, which the first season of content is $40 by itself. You're getting it for only $10 more or so. So it's on sale now. I think the end of the sale is on the 20th. But it's not bad just for next gen racer. It's a real PlayStation 5 game, so it's not one of those backwards compatible ones. But it's it's decent, and the online though I haven't tried. And I know that they're planning to add a lot more content. Like they're adding like objects. I tried some of the Gymkhana stuff, like some of the custom maps. People did some crazy kind of gate races and things like that, but they're all like almost like obstacle courses or things that you would find in like a monster truck rally, like go through the gates and do these crazy kind of like turns and jumps and things like that. It's not bad. It's pretty cool. I don't know how long
So
I'm gonna
this
be doing
basically, it
this.
sounds like it's just a pure arcade racer. Like it's just fun.
It's a yeah. You know what it remind me of
Okay.
Drive Club.
Oh,
Drive Club.
okay. See, and I love
Yeah,
Drive
Drive
Club.
Club
I
I
think
think
Drive
looked
Club is
better.
a
I think Drive Club
underrated
looked a
game.
little bit better, but it reminded me of that kind of Drive Club where it's like it's not full arcade, but it's on the thing. Yo, what's up, Chris Righteous? How you doing, man? But yeah, haptic. Yeah, Buckrod says haptic analog sticks. Oh, now we're talking. PlayStation 6, maybe. We're just talking about games that we played and stuff. I was talking about Dirt 5. I tried out some Dirt 5 there. But we're just
Well,
doing some what stuff we're playing. So was
there
there
is
anything
another
else
game that
before
I
we get into
played.
our first
Yeah,
segment?
so there is another game I've been playing. And I got it. It was a PlayStation Plus. It was one of those free games you get, and I didn't know if I would like it or not. I think it's pretty much an indie kind of game. ManEater with the shark. Yo, I've
Yes,
never
Maneater. Yes.
wanted to be a shark. Never wanted to be a shark more than playing that game. That game is so much fun. It's not super serious. It's entertaining on a level of popcorn. It's just like, yo, I'm a shark and I'm eating people, and they're hunting me, and the story starts out, you're the mom shark and you're eating stuff, and you get caught and you get the baby cut out, and then the baby bites the main
Yeah.
protagonist's arm off, and or sorry, the main villain's arm off, and or hand off, and then
Yeah, it was a pretty
you're
interesting
this baby.
story. Like how
Yeah,
you
you're
kill a
this baby
shark.
shark, and you got to become this big
Baby
badass shark. Pretty interesting game, man. Interesting that somebody could take the ideal of having a
Five got news
shark
for
have
you.
his own
You're
story.
mine now.
And what
You
I think
belong
is
to
cool
me.
about it is
He
they
sent his
explain
arm.
things. Yeah, they explain things as you play. They tell you about the different fish you're eating.
Spoilers. This ain't spoilers for us.
Hey, spoilers.
Relax. You've been
I don't
erased.
know. It's really interesting. I'm having fun with it. It's really different. I'll just say that. It's something that you would see in a Game Pass, and you'd be like, "Hey, this is pretty cool."
Oh, you said the
You
words
know?
Game Pass. Take a shot.
Yeah. Let's see how many times I say Game Pass. You got to take a shot
Oh
for every
shit,
time
we
I say
got
Game
that'll be
Pass.
the next show. We'll do that. We'll do freaking shots every time I say goddamn Game Pass. Oh, Sam Ash said he loved Drive Club, but yeah, spoilers. But not, I agree. I played a little bit of it, and it's pretty interesting how you could do that with a shark, like the story. And I know they updated it for the PlayStation 5 and as part of PlayStation Plus. Definitely something to check out. It's very unique. I like that you could jump out of the water and you could just jump on the boat and just like destroy their boats and eat them up.
Man, I was on a pier flipping and flopping around just eating people. It was funny, and I'm cracking up. I just had such a blast playing that game.
That is, yeah, I'll tell you, that game is pretty wild. So, what we're going to do here, we went through the games that we're playing and things that are interesting to us. One thing I wanted to touch on before we get into the next segment is any interest in Hitman 3? Frog, any interest in Hitman 3?
You hear that? You hear that silence?
Oh, shit.
No interest. No interest at all.
So we lost
VR
them.
is the only portion that I'm maybe a little. I'm not a big Hitman guy.
Yeah.
That game plays really awkward to me. It's really like Hitman to me is just a really stiff game with the Uncharted and the Tomb Raiders and games like that coming out. Hitman is very stiff to me, and I think the best Hitman to me is still that I played that I actually thought that I'd probably get through, but I still wasn't. Was Absolution. Other than that, I'm just not a big Hitman fan.
Yeah.
Not a huge Hitman fan. I'm like, because in my head, I'm like, how are people walking around letting this bald-headed dude with a barcode in the back of his head just kill him and not notice he has a barcode? It just, I don't know. That game is just not my type.
I always like the
it's not my
disguise
cup of tea.
factor. Like you could disguise, like I always like the disguise factor and things like that. But yeah, I don't know. Hitman 2, I think it was episodic, and it just it's more of the same stuff. Like they say you could do anything, and it's pretty interesting, but like they kind of want you to go on a certain path. Like you could poison their food, and you could be a bartender and serve the drinks. I don't know. Like I don't know how much different than this is. I would really think the next level for Hitman would be a better multiplayer where like you have one person's the hit and the other person's the hitman, and like you have to kind of sneak up, like they just walk around and things like that, and know that Hitman's looking for them, and they just got to do things sort of like what is it, the Among Us stuff. Like you got tasks to do, and the Hitman is trying to find you, like to do your thing, so you got to be in certain spots. And I don't know, it might devolve into just chasing around, but like I think they could do more with Hitman. I don't know, we'll have to see more of it. I think it comes out next week. Uh-oh, somebody's asking, put that game down. Let's see.
No shit.
Wait, I got it. Oh man, I had to move my soundboard over, so I have my GRINDSBOARD, so I have a whole new thing.
Jamie.
Jamie, I got a whole bunch of Arnold ones. I got, for the new show, we even got this. A new guy. And we're going to talk about him later. But it is...
Are you stupid?
We got Gordon Ramsay here. Oh, no. Jim Ryan. Gordon Ramsay's in the house. We got him, too, coming out for episode 1. But with that, we're going to do the first segment here. And it's something that we're going to do here. It's called the GRINDSBOARD. And it's going to be the quick topics of the day. And I definitely recommend the grinders and stuff. Put some comments in the comments section, and maybe we'll pull some of the topics for next week's show and the next week when we do this. Another thing too, we went Tuesday this time, but we're planning to go on Monday nights at 8:30. I was working on all the things, and Frog was working too, so we were just trying to getting the stuff together for this show. But I think we're gonna go for Monday as a routine time, so just mark that down. But for the first segment, guys, we're gonna do the GRINDSBOARD. So with that, Frog, to the GRINDSBOARD. Here we are, the GRINDSBOARD. So, in this segment, what we're going to do is we're going to have the list of topics here. I got to pull them up here. So, we got a list of topics that we're going to do the rundown. And we're going to give our opinions on it quick. And then we're going to go into the next segment. Well, we'll see. Some might have to cause some discussion. I got some things. And, and then if you guys have any suggestions, put it down in the comments of the show. And then we'll put it on the GRINDSBOARD for next week. And then you could get the nice little, soundbite of...
You just made the list!
Yes, you just made the list. So with that, let's just go down this.
You just made the list!
Oh, I like that soundbite. I do like that. Shout out to Chris Jericho right there. So, today on the GRINDSBOARD, we got the first topic. And why wouldn't we start 2021 with the biggest news? Xbox Red Controller. More controllers. Woo-hoo. Oh my goodness. Frog, what did you say when you saw this red controller? Did you even know there was a red controller? There's a blue one.
Let me tell you, okay, I saw the blue one. When I saw this, and I'm not going to lie, when I saw this trending in our little community and on Twitter, my first gut reaction, I think I was driving, and my wife is driving. I'm in the passenger seat, and this is my reaction. I'm sitting there looking because I'm like, you got to be kidding me, and, because I was like, why? And then my whole thing is like, when people want to say something good about the Xbox brand, they show you a controller, and it doesn't even look all that great. It has a white back, a red. It's like, can it just be all red? Like, it's just like, you got to be kidding me. Controller?
That was the biggest thing.
Are we starting 2021 and this current generation of consoles with a controller announcement? Like, you got to be kidding me. I think that, once again, it's not bad to have, a variety of controllers, but come on now. Stop putting that stuff on Twitter and then just throw it out in the store. That was a CS
announcement. Oh, CS, I think.
Like, that's horrible. A freaking controller announcement. It'd be different if they're like, oh yeah, our new Xbox Red controller, and guess what? It has the same functions as like the PS5.
Yeah, right. No.
That's a whole different thing, which we know they're working on. But my whole thing is like, an Xbox controller. You're starting your new generation off a couple of months into it, and the first thing your big announcement is an Xbox controller.
Yeah. So yes,
you bought I just don't understand.
I know you bought it. So my thing is that you bought the console. They had the blue controller. Then it's like, we're gonna wait till 2021 to talk about the red controller. Like, dude, and the thing is that I don't understand why they're doing this two-tone on the back and not on the front.
I don't get it.
I saw some people showing the Xbox controller that they had last generation where the thumbsticks were white, almost like the Spider-Man controller for the PlayStation,
right.
where like the buttons were white, but the controller was red. Instead, they're putting the white on the back. And, again, it's the thing. There's a share button, the new controller. They're asking $60 for it, I think.
Yeah,
Dude,
$60.
more
You,
controllers.
you know, I'm gonna
Make
be
it
honest
about a
with
game.
you.
My thing
You
is
know what would have
just
been
make it about a
cool?
game, okay? Like I don't
You know what would have
understand.
been
Like,
cool if they did a controller? If they made an Xbox Series X. I hate these freaking names with Xbox, man. With the Series X, it'd have been cool if they had made it look like this, made it look like that black finish, like the original, not the Duke, but the S controller. Like, hey, we brought the S controller back in its updated fashion and style. With that would have been kind of cool. Like, oh, that's unique,
Absolutely.
that's different. They're bringing back something to the people, or the
nah,
Xbox
this is just a
360
new
gray,
color.
the gray and white. Nah, they just
Buck Rogers
they
says
they
he's
do. They
excited for the
have,
controls that they haven't shown. Yes, I agree. Yeah,
dude.
and
I
now
just
we'll
don't
probably
get
get a
it.
purple one. There's a Valentine's Day
And
controller.
and here's my thing. And then, because I don't want to do the fanboy thing, right? Because I don't want to sound like the fanboy, like, oh, Xbox, blah blah blah. But this is why it pisses me off, because you have in my opinion, when I have a conversation with somebody who considers himself a Xbox gamer, more than likely they're not a diehard Xbox gamer. They're a fanboy. They can't see like how this makes everything. This is irrelevant. Nobody effing cares.
Yeah.
It's like,
I,
this is my problem with owning an Xbox console primarily, is that primary console. Like, they do nothing to excite me, but
yeah.
release BS, and it's kind of like, you released a controller, really?
I know.
You know,
And
that'd be
everything
like
and the thing
PlayStation.
is like everything so far we'll talk about like everything they're kind of announcing or things that are being announced are just like years ahead, and it's like, well, here and now you're getting controllers. But
I just
you know
don't get
what?
it.
They probably want
You
them
know.
for Valentine's Day and sell another
Oh
$60
my god!
accessory and you can get
Let
the
me tell you
controller. It
something,
is what it
Jess. Let
is.
me tell you something. A lot of people don't know, and I'm gonna tell you. I just found this out over this holiday. A lot of people don't know that you can sync your PS4 controller to your PS5, and you can use any PS4
4
controller
game, yeah, you can use
on
any
your
please.
PS5,
Yeah.
as long as you're playing a PS4 game, right?
Yeah.
Any controller. Most people don't know that, but Sony's not out there promoting use PS4 controllers on PS5. Microsoft, oh my god, man, I just
They
don't.
love their
I don't
accessories,
know.
man. Accessories make the
I
money, I
I
guess.
understand this is. I understand this their controller with the new share button, and but they're like another color, and they're so proud of it, and I'm like, really? It's not like they you know what, this would have been great when they promoted this, when they released their Gears, whatever that freaking expansion was called.
Oh
That
yeah,
would have
like
been a
why
perfect
would you're
time.
right? Why would they make like a Hive Busters controller or something like that, or like I
Exactly.
don't know why. Yeah,
Microsoft,
I don't know
cool.
why the announcements of just plain ass colors is an announcement at all. Like
I don't
I
understand.
don't
See,
know.
you,
And it's
you
called
you're
like
thinking
Red
like I'm
Scarlet. Who
thinking.
the hell knows? Not even called Scarlet.
Who's over there marketing? Like, High Busters came out and you knew this controller was
But you
there.
see, yes,
Why
is an
didn't you
Xbox
promote?
controller.
Why didn't you promote this controller and say, buy this controller, get High Busters for free? You know why? Because they want to promote Game Pass. Oh,
Yeah.
that's the second
Game Pass
shot.
don't come with it. But anyway, so the next topic, we're done with Xbox controllers. Added to the bowl of
Yes.
controllers. The next topic we're talking about is the Jedi Fallen Order backwards compatibility update. So I believe the thing is that there are two different resolutions modes for the Xbox Series X, the Xbox One X or the Series X, because this is not necessarily a true PlayStation
It's
5
weird.
Series X version. This is a backwards compatibility jack up or something like that, where
Yes.
basically it's taking the modes that are already on the Series X, the Xbox One X, and they're basically just making them better on the Series X. And that's why, because I was looking at the PlayStation ones and I was like, where's the PlayStation 4K mode? There isn't one. So like I guess there is just a 60 frames per second mode, a performance mode, and there's only a 4K mode on the Series X, on the Xbox One X in series. What's up, C2R2? What's up? CTR2, what's up, man? But yeah, so you played it. I'm gonna be playing it soon. But yeah, it's not. So when you download it, it's not a PlayStation 5 game, right? It's still a PlayStation 4 game.
Okay, so it's a PS4 game.
It says PS4,
and
okay.
yes, definitely a PS4 game. And what it does, from what I was reading, is it basically, with the PS5, because I read it earlier, and I want to say, let me make sure let me pull the info up so I make sure I'm actually saying the right thing, because I don't want to get it wrong and somebody says, he doesn't know what he's talking about.
The resolutions?
The resolutions, the frame rates are the same, 60 across the board, right?
I agree.
But it's the resolutions that are different. Okay, so this is what it is. And it's kind of weird. I don't understand. Like when I'm reading this, I'm like, there's something weird with this
So there's
whole
only
way they
one
do
mode
this.
though in the Fallen Order, right?
Yeah. So
On
the
the
Series
PlayStation, there's
S,
only one, right?
right? So the Series S frame rate has been increased from 45 frames, where that's the highest it could hit, which is the S version. So now on the Xbox Series S, you can hit a lock 60. I'm pretty sure Digital Foundry will confirm this. The
Yeah, they're
Xbox
gonna run
Series
one, I'm sure.
Performance, the Xbox Series Performance mode, the frame rate has been increased to 60, but then it has a dynamic resolution that ranges from 1080p to 1440p. Then you have Xbox Series X normal mode, which is non-performance, and it has a post-processing which increases it to 4K. But the dynamic resolution, it ranges between 1512 to 2160p. So basically, this is say it can hit. Well, let's just say it's dynamic 4K. I don't know why they went into all. Let's say dynamic 4K, right?
Yeah.
The PS5, and you got to take in mind that all these versions I'm naming are just their base console modes, and they just upped it to this current gen. So the PS5, the frame rate at the max, I think it was hitting 45 on the Pro, and so now it's hitting a lock 60, and it says it's doing a dynamic resolution or a post processing increase for up to 1440. Dynamic resolution has been disabled, and the game renders up basically up to I guess 12. It says 1200p. So
Okay.
let's take that. Digital Foundry will come out and they'll do
Yeah,
their
they'll
thing.
do their thing.
What I kind
But
of
does
feel
it look
about
good?
it
Does it
is
look good and play
it
fast?
looks really. It
Because it
does
did
look
look good
good.
before. I played it before the update.
Yes, it looks good, but my biggest thing in my head is kind of like, why didn't it just say, okay, resolution 1440p across the board? Because I think that worked. We know that there's something weird going on in with these developers. I don't know if they're being lazy. I don't know exactly.
Well,
Let's
the
just say
game's over a
COVID.
year old. Hey, what's up, Kid
Yeah,
Smooth?
but
He says
what I'll say,
1200p, 60 frames per second. That's the PlayStation version.
yeah,
That's the only one
12,
mode.
yeah,
They don't have the other
yeah,
4K, so
12,
they
yeah,
don't have.
1200p, 60 frames, and post processing 1440.
I don't know
So
how that
we're just
post-processing
going up.
stuff is.
Yeah, so we're just going off of what yeah. So Xbox can obviously resolution they can outperform the PS5, but I don't understand why they both can't do the same resolution.
Well, because it's
They
doing
obviously
the
can.
Xbox version had a better version on the Xbox One X, and that's why I think the
Yes,
Series
and
X
I
benefit.
think and I think the
I think
reason the
likewise they've
resolutions
done
are
this
like that
before.
because
Like I think the PlayStation
the
4
last
Pro
one.
version sometimes had certain things that the Xbox version didn't have, and they're just
Well, what the
just
Pro
basically
version
changing it.
had was the Pro version just it seemed like and I know I don't we're gonna go back into this console war thing, which I don't want to do, but
Yeah.
it seemed like this generation, my personal opinion is any game that is backward compatible, just directly backward compatible without an update for the most part, that was third party runs really to me, and from what I've seen, runs better on the Series
Yeah, the
X.
backwards
But
compatibility was always better. Is better on
but any
Xbox.
game that gets an update seems the PS5 always runs that game when it's updated better on its
Well,
hardware
and I think
for the
we're
most
talking
part,
about
and
like
it's
how
by a small margin. It's by a small
yeah,
margin,
about the
small
PlayStation
margin.
has like a separate app for the PlayStation 5
Right.
where it's not running like the other ones are more compatibility updates. Where the PlayStation they got to create a freaking
Right.
PlayStation version of the game, PlayStation 5 version of the game, which may be more optimized and write directly to the thing than one that might be just a compatibility update. So I see the thing,
Which
but
I think is good. I
I
think it's good for both
I thought
consoles
the
because
game
I
looked
think
good.
that
Like I thought the game
yeah,
looked good
already,
either
it looked
way.
good already. Yeah,
It was. I
it looked
thought
good
like
already.
I skipped it. I haven't played it at all because I was trying to get it with Indiana Jones. Oh no, I'm sorry, Indiana Jones. I was trying to get it with EA Pass, and I didn't see it there. So like. They didn't have the demo either, but and I kept hearing it was a Dark Souls game and all this other stuff, and I'm like, oh, but actually, it's pretty damn good action game. It's really good. So I encourage now with the backwards compatibility updates, definitely play it. It's an EA play, and I'm liking it because I did because I wasn't into these Souls type games. As soon as somebody said it's a Souls game, I didn't play it. But now I play Demon Souls, and I'm like, okay, I could get into these games. And actually, you know what? It's pretty damn good, and it has some. It reminds me.
And I
It is pretty good.
no, go ahead. I was gonna just say I think with the Jedi Fallen Order, that good because I'm playing it. I had the game, I just never really got to sit down and play it. So I'm playing it now. I was like, well, let me see because the little bit I played, I was like, it had an Uncharted-ish kind of feel to it, which isn't a bad thing.
Yeah.
And I like the Star Wars universe.
Yeah,
But
yeah, it
from
did
what
have an
I'm
Uncharted thing to it.
yeah,
Yeah.
from what I'm playing, it feels good. You definitely, I think when you go on your PlayStation 5 or your Series X or even S, wherever you're playing in the current gen with the next three consoles, I think that when you're playing some of these games and they have these updates, you definitely feel the difference.
Yeah.
Especially when they're just when they can these games could have hit 60 and it's like they were struggling. Now they're just hitting it with ease. My biggest question is kind of like, how come they just didn't do 1440p across the board? And I think the reason is because, like, once again, it's like we know the play. Like give you a prime example. Fallout. Fallout can run 60 frames at 4K on a Series X, but for some reason it hasn't been patched for PlayStation 5. It's still running at it's 4K 30 frames. I'm
Yeah.
like, we know the PS5 can run this game at 60.
Yeah.
I don't know what's taking so long.
We're in such a weird transition
I don't
period
know.
with this
We're
with
just-
this
yeah.
stuff. Like some games get enhancements, some games aren't. It's nice that they went back and enhanced the game because they could have just left it as is. It was functional, but the fact that they
You know
were
why I
able
think
to go
they
back
did
and
it
do was
also?
nice.
And I'm gonna play kind of one of those put my freaking as they said tinfoil hat on. I think they did the Jedi Fallen Order backward compatibility update because it was nominated, if I'm not mistaken, this year, and it kind of made it relevant
to promote
again.
that LucasArts thing, which we'll talk about.
Yeah,
that Lucas
and-
games,
Yes,
like
yes,
the
and
Star
I think
Wars
that's
games,
the other thing. Yes, yes.
So let's go to the next. Speaking of updates, Mass Effect trilogy possibly coming out in March.
Oh my god!
First off, let me tell you something. EA.
Go ahead. I got some
Mass
things to say
Effect
about
that I
this.
give a goddamn shit about is Mass Effect 2. Mass Effect 3 was more of an action game. It was okay. Mass Effect 2 was the shit. Mass Effect 1, Mass Effect 2.
It was just the groundbreaker.
Yeah, I love Mass Effect 2. That's my favorite one.
Yeah, that's the best
I don't
one.
know. It seems kind of, my opinion, my hot take on it, seems kind of short notice. Maybe this just is an up-res. Wham bam. Thank you, ma'am.
I've got news for you. You're mine now. You belong to me.
Just enhancement. I hope they actually take some goddamn sense and give some respect to it. But it's EA.
Thank you.
It's Mass Effect. They already tarnished the name with Andromeda. And on top of that, it's coming out in March. Sounds like a quick deal to try to get a quick money before the end of the first quarter. Frog, your take on it.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
My take about Mass Effect is I'm not a big fan of EA. They have some IPs. They have some IPs they own. I very rarely buy anything that the EA publishes or makes. But they are their IPs I get here and there.
But it's Mass Effect though. It's BioWare.
At Mass Effect, I'm such a big fan of Mass Effect. I know
all of
about
them.
Mass
You liked
Effect
all
trilogy.
of them. You played all of them.
Here's my biggest fear. Yeah, I'm a fan of all of them.
Okay.
I beat all of them.
Yes.
I almost platinum Andromeda just because
Really? Okay.
Because it had its problems. Okay, Mass Effect Andromeda is one of the games I feel like it was so fairly judged because it was kind of like it had the reverse. It was the reverse thing of Cyberpunk, right?
Yeah.
Where Cyberpunk comes out, it has its issues, and then they get patched. And then we get it, and it's really broken, it's really bad, and the patches aren't there. Well, you got to remember with Mass Effect Andromeda,
but that's not part of this one, right? It's not Mass Effect Andromeda.
No, it's not. It's not. No, it's
so
not.
what do you think
Andromeda's
about the
its own
quick
trilogy.
turnaround, though? There's been rumored, though.
What I'm going to say is, I don't think that the trilogy is going to be tarnished unless it comes out and it's just like if they don't do different textures and a little bit different feeling to the game, it's a little bit different. I think they're going to get criticized for that. I think if it's just like, here you go, here's some old 360 PS3 crap, and we just, I think they have to put a little bit of polish on it. They got to put a little spit. I'm not saying they got to do it.
I hope it's not a spit shine.
Right? I'm not.
It sounds like a Sandman says the cash grab.
But what I think is, because they're saying 4K 60 and they're saying ray tracing with.
Will they still have the elevators in the game?
You know what, they will, but I think you plan on our current gen consoles now. I think it'd be kind of null and void. And like I said, once again, I think Mass Effect Andromeda got a bad rep because people were planning and reviewing it before it had the day one patch, and so they shitted on the
but
game.
yeah,
and then
but
a week
Frog.
or two after the game came out, it was fine.
No, but
It
those
didn't have all the
animations, those
problems.
characters looked like Team World America, Team Police, whatever the hell, the world, those friggin' puppets, those guys.
Yeah, I mean, but
they did look like puppets.
but you know when they
Team
did
America.
patch it, and I think the difference with that game was they had the patch, and a lot of people reviewed it didn't get that day one patch, so they shitted on the game. And then when the patches came and it was fixed, people just remembered the first thing they heard. Oh, it's shit, and it actually wasn't shit. It was actually a pretty decent game. Same with like Cyberpunk.
What do you think of that trilogy?
Cyberpunk,
Though? Are you going to play the trilogy? How much you think it's going to be?
I'm expecting. Want me to be honest? Because it's EA, $59.99.
No,
I honestly, hold on. I honestly believe it's $59.99 no matter what. Look, EA is the same company that released what's the racing game? What's the racing game? They released two racing games back to back. Need for Speed and Burnout. And they had minimal polish on it.
Oh my god.
Minimal polish.
All right. Frog, speaking about people that charge overpriced for games, the next topic is Mario 3D World for the Switch. And Bowser, Mega Bowser. What do you think about Nintendo going into their archives
let me tell you something, man.
that we play every game from the Wii U?
A lot of people in the circle, they will shit on a lot of stuff and do the fanboy stuff. But out of all the companies, Nintendo is a company that really, I can honestly say, they really, really give you the pipe with no lube, because they will release the same game over and over.
Stop it!
And they'll charge you $59 for it, and guess what? It will sell 10 million.
It's the same game, right? First of all, this was not the Wii U game, right? This is the Wii U game, right?
This is the Wii U game with DLC.
With a Bowser DLC.
Wii U,
okay.
That's all it is. It's the Wii U game with DLC and a better resolution. So technically, it's just like they kind of like remastered it. Let's just say they remastered for all intents and purposes. But the fact that they had the audacity to charge you $59.99 for the same game with DLC, not that it's a bad game, don't, because it is a good game. But the problem is, you're charging me for the same game with DLC with upres, and guess what? This game is gonna sell 8-10 million easy. It is, because that Bowser trailer was dope. That was cool when Mario.
That did look good. It looks like you go into the level and then Bowser like freaks out, Mega Bowser, and then he like chases you out of the level, and now he's throwing his chrome at you. That's what it looks like.
Nintendo games. That's what makes Nintendo games. People they always have a way to take their games and put a twist on them where you're like, yo, I gotta get that. And then guess what? This game is sell 10 million. This game is gonna sell gangbusters, because I can't think of anything. We're still waiting on a new Mario. So this game is just the game we're holding over.
It looked good.
Nintendo milks their franchises.
The grind is.
Let me tell you.
Let me just say, I gotta tell you Frog's history
fair,
though.
Oh my god.
Frog had the Wii U. So when I was telling him about the Switch and I was playing these Switch games, he goes, "You know that was on the Wii U, right?" And I was like, "What?" See, Frog had the Wii U. And I skipped the Wii U. So like to me, I'm like, oh wow, like this is a new Mario game. But I remember the names. I was like, oh, 3D World. I remember that on the Wii U. But if you played
Donkey Kong was a Switch
Donkey
game.
Kong
Was a Wii U
Freeze.
game.
You're right. Donkey Kong
God.
Freeze.
Like,
Even
all
Mario,
these freaking Wii
the
U
tennis
games,
game.
man.
The tennis game. The Mario tennis.
The freaking what is that? The 101 or whatever it's called. Like all these games were Switch games. Like they came to the Switch. But my problem is, I think that Nintendo's like, well, they didn't do too well, and people didn't. We only sold 5 million.
So let's redo it. Yeah,
we can still sell another 10 million to the same people.
And that's the thing. It's same people. That's what you think.
Oh,
but you know what, Frog? What's interesting? People. I was thinking about this before I came on the show. Was that the PlayStation 3 kind of had this thing too. Remember, like they kind of remastered. I know Last of Us 1 was one of these games where it's like that was one of the excuses I remember they said when they said they're remastering it for the PlayStation 4. It was because hey, not a lot of people played it on the PlayStation 3, you know.
And I think that's what Nintendo's doing.
And Nintendo's doing the same thing with the Wii U. Like not a lot of people played this game. They put in this stuff. Let's just enhance it up. And also Nintendo has this friggin' little thing, right? Oh yeah, Buddy Cactus says he had the Wii U. So Buck Rogers says, before I get into my thing, Buck Rogers says I love my Wii U. Buddy Cactus says I had the Wii U, and he regrets buying the Wii U more than the base Xbox One console launch at the
I
launch of the
definitely agree
console.
with that.
Wow. Yeah, see, I skipped that Wii U.
I
with
definitely
that.
regret
As soon
that.
as they said that you couldn't take that tablet away with you and only could go behind walls, I was like, nope, not for me. No Wii U stuff.
I got it day one, and I regret it.
The thing is that Nintendo now, with the friggin' Switch, it not only just says, hey, you're going to play the same game on your TV. Now they got the finesse. They got their Phil Nest. They got their Mario Nest, their Luigi Nest, where they're like, hey, you could play this game on the toilet. While Phil Spencer's going to sit down and buying Sega. When Phil Spencer's going down in Sega headquarters to buy Sega, when he takes a huge dump at Sega headquarters and everybody thinks he's buying Sega, he could be playing the brand new Mario games.
Nintendo's that meme.
Bowl.
Nintendo's that meme.
You could play somewhere else. So they got the finesse on it too.
And somebody's getting a haircut and they're like, hey, you want that Minecraft? Say no more. And they got a block shape on their head. Nintendo's that meme. Like, they're like, oh, you want a new Mario game? Say no more. And they get released 3D Mario World, the same game for $59.99.
That's the thing. I think it's the price.
And here's the thing.
Here's the thing.
Price, they'll say, oh, better sound and higher full 1080p. Like, holy shit, you can do 1080p.
You can see Mario's balls.
Coming from your 600p, Wii U tablet. Now I can do 1080p. No trophies, no achievement, no nothing added. It's just like, oh, we gave you a little bit of extra DLC. Nintendo's making it work through the pandemic crisis that we have known as COVID. They're making it work. But I tell you one thing though, and also Animal Crossing. The Switch is the Wii U too. The Switch is basically what the Wii U should have been.
Yeah.
And I tell you, if the Switch had came out, if they could have did what they're doing now with the Switch, what they did kind of, back when the Wii U released, that's what they wanted the Wii U to be.
Yeah.
If that was something, dude, they would have controlled the market for some time. But then you got to think, man, we would just been sitting here because I believe the Switch is going to do. It's a handheld. In my heart of hearts, it's a handheld you can play on your TV. It still doesn't have the everyday home console features, that we have. Their internet, they're not their internet. Their connection to play games online is trash. They're charging you for a subscription to basically download or stream old games on their Switch, and it's The Nintendo does a lot of great things, but there's so much they do wrong. No matter how much money they make, it's kind of like one of those things you look at. You're like, well, they're making money, so they can't be wrong. Yeah, they can be wrong, and they're making money. But unfortunately, nobody's telling them they're wrong, so they're gonna keep doing the things.
Hey man, they're making that money. I'm gonna say one thing. I gotta throw it in here, and I forgot to mention it earlier. I did. My son wanted the Animal Crossing game. Now, was that a Wii U game, the same game, or that's a brand new one for the Switch?
No, it's brand new. That's brand new.
Well, I'm gonna tell you one thing. The last time I played friggin' Animal Crossing was friggin' on the GameCube, right?
Yep.
And I was playing Animal Crossing with him and stuff like that. We're like going through the stuff, and I tell you, that game, it has its charm, and it is kind of addicting. Yes. And it's like, yo, you didn't check your town today. Oh my god, like the plants grew in, the guy moved in. Tomorrow I get my house. You found this bug, you found this fish. It is definitely has that that's the one thing. And I was a Nintendo fan, and I still am a Nintendo fan because Nintendo has that charm that they understand the gameplay. They got those fixes, and people could hate them for that shit. But the thing is that Nintendo, they have that, they kind of know gamers, how they think and how they feel, and they know that reward system. Maybe from like card games or from gambling, I don't know, but they got
what it is.
Got
Nintendo
that
does
gameplay down. Even watching that gameplay for the 3D Mario World, I'm like, I can see Mario gets super big and he fights him like, there's like Power Rangers crap going on.
Nintendo in a lot of ways, as far as the way
I love my GameCube
business, is very much like an Apple business mind frame. They're like, we're going to give you something. Like, they're Apple business, because I have Apple products, and I can say, there's some BS to Apple, but what I say is Nintendo's very much like Apple. They're like, we're going to give this to you because you didn't know you wanted it, and you're going to complain that it's $59.99, but you're still going to buy it because guess what? You didn't know you wanted it, but now when you see everybody talking about it, you want it.
Yep.
Guess
Animal
what?
Crossing was $10 off, dude.
Dude, I went on with the Super Mario 3 All-Stars collection. And I was like, and I got it, and I was like, what the hell? Like some of these games are like the 60, it's the same game. I was like, what the?
Dude,
You know, so my whole thing is they
yo.
give you stuff that you're like, you complain about, but you take it up the tailpipe and you just buy it and you go on with
Yo.
it. And guess what? You're gonna be one of those people who are like, because when this Super Mario All-Star 3D All-Stars goes away, nobody's gonna own it. And guess what? It's gonna be a couple years from now, that thing's gonna be like $200 sitting on eBay somewhere.
Dude,
You see what I'm
yeah.
saying?
And they hold their value. Yo, Mog says
Nintendo's not
this. He goes,
stupid.
Mog says, if my kid asks me for Animal Crossing, I'll tell him to just go outside and do real chores instead of video game chores. Go get us fish. Feed me.
Hey, shout out to Sandmash. I'm the same way. My Switch stays in the dock, and I use Pro Controller. I never take that thing off the dock. It doesn't go on dock. I don't play handheld. And like the most I do when I go out to an appointment is I may sit there on my phone and read stuff, or every once in a blue moon I'll play some little app game on my phone. But it's nothing that's really like, oh my gosh, it's really in depth. It's something that's really stupid, like matching numbers or flipping cards or stupid stuff like solitaire. Like I don't, because there's too much stuff going on in the world that I'm sitting there with a Switch, focus on gaming outside of my house. That thing stays docked to the TV, and when a good game comes out that I want to play, I play it. Like when the Metroid trilogy comes out, which I know I complain about again because they'll charge $59. My ass will buy it because I love Metroid.
Yeah.
Nintendo has
they
this
got it,
ability.
man.
I don't know what it is. They have this Apple ability to say, yeah, you don't need it, but you're gonna get it anyway.
So
because Apple does the same thing.
So now the next topic is we're gonna go to the so this is one thing I wanted to, we're gonna skip the Indiana Jones. We're gonna save that for the next segment. And also we're gonna do that for the PlayStation game release dates. But one of the things, so because those are going to be on the next segment, those things kind of go hand in hand. But for the next thing, I wanted just to bring up, because I saw this whole thing with the Game Pass, PlayStation Plus, PlayStation Now, and the term value.
Right.
The thing is the thing. Everybody has their perception of what is a good deal. But if you want to ask me for my good deal, what to say, is that for the price of PlayStation Plus, which you're getting now, 2 PlayStation 4 games and a PlayStation 5 game so far. They've done the Worms Battle Royale game. They've done Bug Snacks. They've done now the ManEater. And next month is Destruction All-Stars, which we'll get to in the next segment. They're giving you PlayStation 5 games just in your PlayStation Plus subscription, which if you compare that to Xbox Live and Games with Gold, where they still give you 360 games and an Xbox One game, they're not giving any kind of like Series X enhanced games yet. You got to get those through Game Pass. Game Pass is a great value, but if you look at the price of just PlayStation Plus what you get in PlayStation Now, which has a lot of games in it, 800 games, and I did a video on this, and I'm probably going to do another one, with like 400 games to download and another 400 to stream, and they're putting games in there. They got, and also, too, one other thing, before I get on the PlayStation Now, they got on PlayStation Plus that collection, which has a whole bunch of the hits of the PlayStation 4. So, like, the thing is that I think people just dismiss PlayStation Now and PlayStation Plus, just like, oh, Game Pass is it. Like, they are comparable, and they should be comparable. The only difference between the two of them is that Xbox puts their first-party games in Game Pass day one. That's the major difference.
And Xbox can play their 360 and some of their Xbox
and they're
games
backwards compatible natively. Exactly. That's the second difference.
Yeah,
right.
That's the second difference. Yeah.
But like,
those are the biggest two differences. Other than that,
yeah, like,
and we're talking about monetary. If we're talking about monetary worth of what you pay
versus what you get,
PlayStation,
right?
PlayStation Now is a better value if you're talking about what you pay versus what you get. So, even if you get PlayStation Plus for a year and PlayStation Now for a year, you're still getting a better deal than Game Pass.
Yeah, $60 each, not on
for
sale.
$15 a month.
Yeah,
$60
each.
Let's just say you're $60. That's
$120.
That's $120 for a year versus your Game Pass, $15 a month, the normal price. Everybody wants to throw in that dollar deal. That happens here and there. But we're talking about the actual. If we're talking about the actual price,
a month,
the consumer sees.
I pretty much exhausted
the
$15
a month. Yeah, my whole thing is like Game Pass is cool for what it is, but if you're talking about monetary value of what you're getting for what you pay, the PlayStation Now and PlayStation Plus are better overall.
I think so. Yeah.
Now, what I'll say is, I subscribe to Game Pass for a year, and I got PlayStation Now for a
Yes,
year.
that's why I
I
brought it up
want to
because
see the
you
value.
did the test. You're
Yeah,
doing the test.
and what I found is like a lot of games in there that were first party that I wanted to play. I own, I play, and so I'm looking for the new stuff that's in there. And most of the new stuff, in my opinion, is very what's the word? I want to use a word. I'm going to be very careful as I say this. There's two type. There's two words I want to say. They're in early access, which doesn't appeal to me because it's like, hey, this game is an early access. Yeah, I'm playing Cyberpunk, and I think that to me that should have been an early access game. But I'm playing like some games, and I'm like, wow, this game doesn't feel finished. It's not that it's buggy or what, it just doesn't feel. I'm like, well, what is this? Is blah. And so I think there's some early access stuff in there, then the other thing is like the games that are in there that I have no clue what they are. I download them, I try them. They're not that great. The first party games that are in there that I wanted to play, I purchased, and there's a lot of first party games in there that are just not good.
Well,
Like
they
I tried
got when's the
Battletoads.
next
That
one?
game
It's
is
gonna
horrible.
be Medium, right? So did you see? You saw
Yeah,
the trailer
and
to the Medium
and
stuff.
here's the
That's not on
thing.
here, but
I have, as me as a subscriber, game's coming. I have no entry. That game looks boring as hell. You know, and I downloaded Battletoads, and I was like, this game is
I
horrible.
know I played
Like
Battletoads
that
last month.
game is so. It's not like popcorn cheesy fun. It's just not a great game. Like for me to play this game, and I know Battletoads. I played the original Battletoads, and
Yeah.
you know, a lot of people who are going into the fanboy dilemma of sitting there and shaking and twitching because I'm saying Battletoads not a good game. This game is not good. If you didn't play the original, it wasn't good, right? But figuring like I think the best Battletoads I played was in the arcade. This game they had the potential to be so much better, and I don't know if they just had, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know if it was like we got this small budget, which I would think not, or they were just like, well, we got this art idea which we're gonna create because I just don't know who that game is for.
Mog says you're
Because it's
waiting for
not for
Scorn.
look, it's not for young kids because it's too
Alien
damn hard.
penis.
And then on
You
the other,
just made the
it's
list.
not for grown men like me because I'm like this I like cartoony, but this is stupid cartoony.
Yeah.
It's really really fucking corny.
But like the
and I
next,
gotta
so
say,
like the next
it's
game
so
they're putting in
corny.
is the Medium, right? So they're doing the Medium, which comes out, which they showed a
Yes,
14-minute trailer. It looks all right. It's a walking through stuff.
I
Like
have. You know what?
I
And it's
don't know
sad about
why
it. I'm
it's
gonna
split
download it.
screen though. I don't know why that's
I'm
split
going
screen.
into the game with no reviews. I don't want to hear anybody talk about it. I'm staying away from it. I want to
Yeah,
go in there
it's
and
got to
be
be the story.
objectively. And my whole thing is, I'm hoping. No, Scorn is definitely not. That game looks like trash too. That game looks. That's a whole nother topic. But the Medium, I'm not interested in it. From what I've seen, there's a couple of games that are going to Game Pass that I'm interested in. But I will honestly tell you, like, I think the games that are going to and here's the thing. The games that are going to Game Pass are games I would just rather buy anyway than to have in the Game Pass.
I
Like
just get
whenever
you.
that game comes out from Obsidian, I'd rather just own that day one.
Yeah.
Halo, I'd rather just
But we
own
got a
that
lot of
day
question
one.
marks. A lot of question
Fable, I'd rather just own that day one. Perfect Dark, I'd rather just own it. And if like I got freaking Crackdown 3 because I played the other
I
previous
know we
ones,
did
and
the
I said,
co-op
I'm
on
gonna go.
Crackdown 3.
And I was like, yo, this game is the multiplayer was horrible. The main game itself it's cool, but it should have came out at $39.99, and they should have promoted the hell out of just what
Yeah,
that
the
story
Medium
was.
is $50.
Yeah, see, I wouldn't purchase that at $50.
That's what a lot of people
It's not
say.
because here's the thing. It's not because it's a new IP. It doesn't. When you saw here's the thing, and I hate to do this comparison.
I know, but this is the thing. You're right. Yeah, because I want to go on one other
like
thing.
Ghost, when I saw Ghost of Tsushima, and I was like, yo, I'm interested. It made me. Medium just looks like I want to be Silent Hill, but I'm not Silent Hill, and I want to be a Telltale game, and I want to be Tell Me Why. Like, my daughter played Tell Me Why. I'm not into Tell Me Why. I'm not into those type of games anymore. Like to me, I think they were kind of something that came out when Telltale came out with that style of game. I think it hit, and the first couple of games were like cool, and then they just kept doing everything like that. I was like, I'm done with that. How you do that game? Like, I don't want to play any more games like that. You kept, here's the Borderlands Telltale edition and Batman I got tired of that.
I know.
Think a lot of
They have
people
the
did too.
different skins. But one thing I want,
my honest opinion is, I just think Game Pass. I don't think it's bad.
It's not bad. No, it's not.
But what I will say is, when you say value, and I look at what I would actually pay for Game Pass versus PlayStation Now, or just to say PlayStation Now, right? Versus
Yeah.
Game Pass, I'm getting a better value.
I got
with
$44 on
PlayStation
sale,
Now.
man. Like $44 for a year, not
And here's the
180.
thing, and I'll tell you like this: my sister-in-law, she was going out. She wanted to buy a console for herself, and she said, "Which one should I get, an Xbox or a PlayStation?" I said, "Well, you can get an Xbox." But she said, she had X amount of dollars. And I said, well, you can get an Xbox and then you can subscribe to Game Pass. And she's like, ooh, how much is that yearly? I said, well, you have to do it monthly. It's like $15. She's like, I don't want another subscription like Netflix or Amazon. I don't want that. And I was like, well, you can get a PlayStation 4, but they're hard to find. And I said, you can just get, PlayStation Plus, and they give you 3 games, every month. And I said, since you're getting a PlayStation, I said, shoot, you just put your name on my PS5 and you get 20 games. And she was like, 20 games?
With that thing.
I was like, yeah, because you have PlayStation. So that's what she did. Now she has a collection of she bought The Last of Us Part 2. She bought Call of Duty Cold War. She bought a year of PlayStation Plus. And then I just put her profile on my PS5. And then so she has all the 20 games she's never played. Whereas, yeah, she could have got an Xbox and she could have but I was like, she when versus what a PS4 Pro was the same price as a freaking regular Xbox S. So she was like, I'll just get that, and she bought it directly from Sony. It was the same freaking price.
Yeah, that PlayStation collection is pretty good, and I don't think like a lot of people, because see, a lot of people buying the PlayStation 5s right now have already probably had PlayStation 4s because they were the ones that were
so they have a lot of those games.
Yeah, so a lot of those games they pretty much had already. But man, if the value of that stuff, I just think that the quality of games that you're getting in those 2 subscription services definitely outweighs what you're getting in Game Pass. And if you want to even say quality, even quantity, what you're getting in those 2 services for $120 a year versus $180 a year.
That $120, you're getting 800 plus games.
And I got those 2 services on sale for $44 each. So $88 for a year. If they put trash games in there, I don't care.
There are way more games on PS Now that you can download than Game Pass.
Yeah, and I don't care.
But I guess the biggest thing is people are like, well, first parties don't go in there. If first parties, let me tell you something.
Frog, the thing is like how many first parties are coming out? Are they dropping a first party a month for $15? Like, are you getting in a month?
That's my thing.
That's the problem. People say like this new game. They're like, oh yeah, 2 years from now, I can't wait to play it. Are you subscribing for 2 years?
What do you think? What do you think if Sony said let's just say they said we're putting Horizon Forbidden West in there, we're putting God of War in there, we're putting Deathloop in there, we're putting Returnal in there. And PlayStation Now. So
do
subscribe
it.
to it. You got it.
I'm in.
You know what? Great. Go ahead and do it. But I think in the long run, they know these games are going to sell.
Yeah.
So they're like, there's no reason to put it in a subscription model we're only going to charge $60 a year. When we know we can make that $60 per person,
and that goes.
People are going to love it.
And you're right. That goes right to the last point I wanted to make on this thing is that I saw some people going like shaming people, saying, "Why are you paying $70 when I pay $10 a month?" and almost like shaming you for paying that much money for games. And my thing is that if those games that I'm paying, so Ghosts and Demon's Souls and Spider-Man, and those games are going into a service for $10 a month, hey, hell yeah, sign me up. I'm paying $10 a month. Yeah. Hooray, hooray, hooray.
Because you're getting,
but you're not getting those games in Game Pass day and day. You're not getting that. You're getting medium, a 6-hour, 7-hour game. You're getting Battletoads.
To be honest with you, I don't know. And, people always say, Jay, don't check their pockets. Let these companies worry about their pockets.
Yeah.
And people always talk about,
it's only $1. You for spending full price on a game. You're not getting the same games. It's only $1. Until you do, then shut up.
It. Like, my feeling is this. When I see a game that I want, I don't mind spending full price.
Exactly.
Game. And if I get burnt on it, I get burnt on it. Like, I bought Cyberpunk. And
I got burnt on. Guess what game I got burnt on? I got burnt on Watch Dogs Legion. I got burnt on Watch Dogs Legion. That game was not worth it, and I spent $30 on that game. I didn't think it was worth $30.
But here's what I think.
It was generic as hell.
I think when that game comes out and it's supposed to be critically acclaimed, it comes out and it kind of fails. I think that either it makes or breaks the developer, and it makes the developer push themselves harder. With some of these games being in Game Pass, if they fail, well, I won't say fail. If they come out and they have their problems, it's like whatever. We
We're-
can just it's in Game Pass anyway, and I think that's the mentality of a lot of people.
That's
who on
right.
Game Pass.
And we're
They're
going to
like, well,
take this.
It's there anyway.
That's
Go ahead.
right. And we're going to take this now for the Game Pass stuff because there's something that I saw today regarding the next topic, and we're going to take this. This goes to the Grinds Table. Let's go. We're going to the Grinds Table. We're starting the next segment of the Grinds Table. We're going to talk about Indiana Jones. We're going to talk about the PlayStation game releases and what it looks like for 2021. Let's take some of these topics to the Grinds Table. Let's go. We took this to the Grinds Table. We are at the Grinds Table right now. So there's some topics that come off the Grinds board that we're going to take them and go in a little deeper on them. And that's going to be what we do for the Grinds Table here. And we're going to share some of the information. And these are going to be the big topics of the night and what we're going to go into. So moving forward, we're going to be talking the topics that we're going to talk about here. We're going to talk about this Game Pass, not Game Pass thing, but the Indiana Jones thing that just dropped today because that's some hot news. Plus, what leaked from CES, which happened with Jim Ryan, or otherwise known as Gordon Ramsay. And he dropped some ingredients for what we could anticipate for some of the stuff in 2021 for PlayStation, some release dates. Thank you very much, Dominic, with the music and stuff like that. Yes, I did some of these transitions, but yeah, we're in the hot seat right now. This is the hot seat, the Grinds Table. So what we're going to talk about here, just to take this, talking about the first topic is of the Grinds Table would be the whole Indiana Jones thing. So just to preface it, Indiana Jones is being made by Bethesda, Machine Games, who's part of Bethesda, and this is in partner with Lucas Games, which is that new division that basically Disney now has their own kind of Star Wars Lucas studio that they made that they're going to start giving their IPs out. One thing that has come up from this is not even about the friggin' Indiana Jones game, which I'm like, oh, shit, an Indiana Jones game. The first thing that came out was that it's from Bethesda. Microsoft is buying Bethesda, so therefore this is a Microsoft exclusive game, and it's going into Game Pass. Before I get into my reaction to that whole reaction thing, I just want to give you this little scenario. This game is very early in development. They say, like, hey, we're happy to announce the game. They didn't show any gameplay. They just showed a table and they showed the whip and the hat. That was it. And it's not even worth it to bring it up because it really doesn't show anything. I was going to show it, but I'm like, it doesn't really do anything.
Doesn't show a damn thing.
So the thing is that imagine you're working on this game, right, Frog? This was something that just hit my head and just comes off the Game Pass from the other segment. Imagine if you're working on this game and you're a developer and you're working on Indiana Jones. You just announced the game and you go on Twitter to see the reactions. And what you see are people saying, I can't wait to play this for $10 a month in Game Pass. That's what they think the value of your game is in Game Pass. How inspired are you as a developer to think that people think your game is worth a goddamn $10 fucking bill? And you're sitting here going, I can't wait to see. What is everybody saying about my new game? And they're like, oh, I'm going to play this in Game Pass. Like, people are already talking about not buying your game. Like, how the hell is that exciting as somebody who's developing the games going, people don't even want to spend money. People don't even want to legit buy your game. They just say, oh, well, Microsoft owns it, so it's going to Game Pass. Hardy, hardy, hardy. And it's like, okay, that's wonderful. So now they just want it just spoon-fed to them for $10 goddamn dollars, a friggin' price of a Subway friggin' footlong. And that's what the reaction that people had. We'll get into the exclusive stuff next. But, like, Frog, what do you think as a developer that you see people $10 bill fill and people are going like, oh, I can't wait to play that in Game Pass? Dude.
I'm going to tell you, when I saw them do this announcement, and the whip came across the table or the hat, and I saw when I saw Bethesda and I saw Machine Works, I was like, okay, what game? I heard the music, I was like, no, Indiana Jones. I was like, cool, and then I was like, wait, how relevant is Indiana Jones? Like my kids barely know who Indiana Jones, and they're older. They kind of know, but they really don't care. Like I'm the guy who knows about Indiana Jones, and so you got to capture. Because like my oldest son, like I said, he's 24. Like he's
But
like
Machine Works
Indiana Jones. He's
made
like I kind of know who that,
Wolfenstein,
but he doesn't
right?
care. Like my 18-year-old son doesn't care. Like he doesn't care about Indiana. So I don't know who this game is for, because I don't know how relevant this IP is going to be. What I'm hoping, because I love Indiana Jones. What I'm hoping is this game comes out and it gives me some of that something a little different than Uncharted, something a little different than Tomb Raider, because I kind of feel it's going to be a similar game in that vein, and I want there's a fresh take on indie, and I would love for this to be exclusive and to be their IP that I just buy a system for, and I'm like, yes, finally I want this to work.
Yeah.
But my biggest fear is like this game is gonna Game Pass. People are gonna play it for what it's worth. It may get reviewed well, and it just will stay there to die, like Ori and the Will of the Wisp. It'll stay there to die, like a lot of games, like
The thing
and that's
is,
my biggest
we
fear. Is
don't
like
even
it's gonna.
know. So like the thing is, so my reaction to the game is like it's Bethesda, okay, whatever, but it's
Yeah.
Machine Games. They make
Uh,
Wolfenstein, right?
I'm a little skeptical about them.
They made
Yeah,
Wolfenstein. So
their
I
games are
think the
okay.
one thing,
Yeah.
Frog, that could hurt this, and I saw a lot of people asking this question, is that if it's a first person shooter with a whip, that will instantly
Ugh,
kill what hype I think for it. Like people are
I
expecting it
don't
to
know. That's
be
weird.
the Uncharted game because we've seen
That's
that.
what I'm
But
expecting it to
Machine
be.
Works makes first person shooters.
Ugh,
Do you think this could
that
be
would
a
be
first person
weird.
Indiana Jones? It's an original story. Think about it. I doubt
Hmm.
Harrison Ford is in it because they would have said that. It's an original story. If you do it first person,
Hmm.
you don't have to model Harrison Ford.
That's true. That is true. And I don't know, man.
Unless you have
Like
cutscenes with them.
I would.
But that would
My personal
we don't
opinion is
know enough
like
about these friggin' games. I hate
it,
this stuff.
here's what I'm hoping, Jazz. I'm hoping it's young indie, and they can go with
Wait, bro,
this
I say
fresh.
Glinza says Indiana Jones in the Game Pass of Doom.
Oh my god. My whole thing. Look, all seriousness, I hope it's a young indie. I'm hoping they go with a younger indie and they kind of build on this to make it to where he's indie and he's older. This way they can kind of use somebody who's not Harrison Ford, but Harrison Ford ish. Because I do love the story.
Young
But then
Indiana Jones.
you know why I think Machine
It's an original
Gun did
story.
this, because Machine Gun, if you haven't
Buck
noticed,
Rogers says first person whipping game. I think that's what I said.
this is why I think Machine Gun Games did it. It's because Machine Games does a lot of stuff in that World War II era, so they're really good with that. If you ever noticed, like all their games are World War II ish kind of games. So I think
Nazis and
that's
stuff like that. They've been
yeah,
working on the
Nazis,
Nazi thing. Yeah.
and we're what time period is Indy set in? That same time period. So maybe what I'm hoping is it doesn't get corny where they're like buy Indiana Jones and the whatever of the whatever edition, and
I got
and
Indiana
get
Jones and the
BJ.
last good Game Pass game instead of the Last Crusade.
No, Indiana Jones is like don't buy Indiana Jones, the control for the crystal whatever, and
Indiana
get
Jones
BJ
and the Temple of
Blazkowicz
Phil.
and get BJ Blazkowicz as a downloadable character. That would be corny. And I have a feeling they're gonna do. I don't want them to tie any
No,
of
I
that
don't think they're going
Wolfenstein
to tie
stuff
in
into
Wolfenstein.
there,
Oh my God,
because
cross
they do
Indiana
corny
Jones and
stuff
Wolfenstein.
like that,
I didn't even hear that.
No, but what I'm saying is, I could see them doing something corny like that. They'd be like, "Hey,
Yo, what's up, Salty?
BJ Blazkowicz can be a he could be a character voice, or kind of like how they did Duke Nukem in that one game. You're like, yo, this is corny.
Indiana Jones and the
hope,
Game Pass Raiders of your wallet.
Look, I want this game to be good. Even though I don't know what it is.
I want to play
I'm
Indiana
a
Jones and the
fan.
Temple of Phil. That's what I want.
Look, and Indiana Jones and the Crystal of whatever. You can
Crystal of
name
ass.
the indie game. Yeah. But I just don't want it to be I want it to be a fresh take. Like if it's
Oh well,
first
that's what they
person,
said. It's a new story. They said it's a new story. So.
if it's first person, am I gonna feel some way about it? It's gonna feel weird.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. People think it's like
gonna feel weird.
Frog, as soon as they announced it, people were saying like, "Oh, this is Xbox's Uncharted." Or less, like the thing is that if it shows up and this game is a first-person shooter, that immediately kills, I think, a lot of hype for Indiana Jones. Like
that's gonna hurt.
Like I said, first-person whipping.
I'm telling you that would bother me because I don't expect the Indiana Jones game to be first person. I expect
but Machine Games makes first person games. You think they're making a third person action game like Tomb Raider?
I think it's gonna be a Tomb Raider.
They make Wolfenstein,
and I want something like that on Xbox.
Will get an exclusive whip.
Man, look, if it's a first person game, I'm not saying I'm not gonna play it. All I'm gonna say is I'm gonna be very skeptical. They're gonna have to really prove to me they can pull this off, because how do you make an Indiana Jones game first person? That I think it would be very hard to.
Well, he shoots.
You know,
he fist fights.
Xbox game will get somebody said Xbox will get an exclusive whip. Oh my god.
Well, that was the next conversation that came up with this Indiana Jones, was the fact that is it exclusive? And this is the big question mark in this big Bethesda purchase. What is happening? So my take is I think it's a Game Pass game launch multi-plat on PlayStation, Xbox, and PC, but it's going to launch in Game Pass just like The Outer Worlds, just like Psychonauts 2, just like Wasteland 3, just like Minecraft Dungeons. Just like all those games, Microsoft is just going to put it in Game Pass, because that's the whole reason why they bought Bethesda, because they can't make a goddamn game, so they're going to have to buy a company to put games in Game Pass, and that's the reason why. Game Pass games. So I think it's a Game Pass game. I don't think there's going to be exclusive to a platform. I think it's going to be exclusive. I think it's just going to be in Game Pass, and it'll just release on the other platforms at the same time. That's
Captain Crunch. Captain Crunch had a good. He said maybe kind of like a Dying Light. You know what? That's interesting, but I don't know if I would want that. That'd be really.
And it's
weird.
an original story too. So like,
I mean, the original story has me interested. Gameplay has to be. It's not even graphics mostly. It's gameplay that has to be king. And
but people assume it's a third person. It might not be.
If it's like a Tomb Raider or Uncharted, I'm gonna love it. I'm just hoping, because I'm hoping they don't use old indie. Hopefully they go with young indie and they start off where they say, okay, we can build on this and keep making more games, because I want to see a new franchise. But I think the problem with Indiana Jones, once again, like I said, is like people still, and in a lot of people's mind, Indiana Jones is big. He's not as big anymore. Indiana Jones, that whole franchise is not.
It's the same
as
thing
big.
like the like the Perfect Dark thing. Like it was big in the 90s and stuff like that.
Indiana Jones, like I said, my youngest child is about to be 18 in a couple of months, and I don't think he knows who Indiana Jones is. It's not that I've not shown him; he just doesn't care.
Yeah,
he doesn't care.
And I thought they were making a movie, but you said earlier they're not making a movie.
And then I show him a picture of Harrison Ford. He's like, "Oh, the guy from Star Wars."
You mean Han Solo?
Like,
you mean the fugitive?
Like, yeah, he doesn't really care. So I don't know who.
Bug says
my thing is,
in the end,
I don't know who exactly this is for. and I think that the fact that they even just show like a little thing, I think this game is a ways off anyway. So I don't think this game will come out to maybe like the end of next year.
They said this game is really early. So Indiana Jones is going to be old. He's going to be old Indiana Jones.
2 years.
Yeah, this game's coming.
2
this
years
game's
from
like
now.
2 to 3 years from now. Again, like they said, it's going to be some time before we share any more information on it. So, this is definitely something. But I do have a better one.
Hey, Captain Crunch has some good ideas. He said, "Dying Light, add some Doom Eternal type jumping platform. It could be okay." You know what, Captain Crunch? You kind of make me more of a believer, because now that you're saying this stuff, I could see that being cool. That could be cool. Just that concept of thinking, because Doom Eternal is really a good game. And Dying Light, just the concept. Yeah, I can kind of see that now.
I can say it.
I don't know, but I just keep in my head. I guess I keep just thinking Indiana Jones. That's the hard part.
You're thinking Uncharted, because Uncharted basically is Indiana Jones. Like that character.
Yeah, Uncharted and Tomb Raider.
That's basically Indiana Jones.
Mm-hmm.
He says here, Machine Games' narrative team has gone downhill to me since the New World Order and Old Blood.
Yes, they have.
Well, I know that other one with the twins or whatever like that was not received pretty well. That co-op.
I don't know, man. I think if they launch it's gonna,
and Todd Howard is involved, the executive producer. I forgot to say that.
I think it will be multi-plat, but I do think they pushed the Game Pass.
Yeah.
And so people may not know it's
exclusive to Game Pass, like a month exclusive, or you think day and date everywhere?
I
think day and date everywhere.
I'll be
like
honest with you. I think that it may be that 6 month window to a year, and then it comes later to other consoles because I don't think it's nowhere near launch. Like if it was coming this year, it's definitely going to be a game that I think they will push out there for that year, and I still think it's going to be some time before we see it on other consoles. And here's the thing, it's a win. Oh my gosh, it's kind of like a lose-lose situation in a sense because like if it comes to Game Pass and it's good. And or
No,
let's just say it comes to Xbox.
Frog,
and it's
it
only on
needs
Xbox,
to be
it's
like
good.
it needs to be an exclusive. Like this is the thing. If Microsoft
It
bought
needs to be.
Bethesda, right? This is the kind of stuff that Microsoft needs to announce. Like Microsoft, if they really want Game Pass to take off, they want Xbox to be taken seriously and not just get laughed at the goddamn building every time they have a showcase or some bullshit. This is the kind of stuff they need to announce. They needed to be in front of this, and they should have announced this thing. If this was something they were working on, this should have been announced at the Game Awards. Not Phil Spencer just like,
Yes.
jerking around on stage. Like I guess they announced Perfect Dark,
Dude,
but like
that little trailer they showed us,
come
they
on.
could have showed that at the Game Awards.
They should have done this. If this wasn't
Yeah.
if this had Xbox written on it, this should have been in front. This whole wishy-washy stuff, and I think some people are saying this, like the fact that they're still not clear on how Bethesda's being managed and how their games are going to be. And it's like, well, you win some, you lose some, like quote from my cousin Vinny. That's a problem. Like you need to be clear into where these games are going to go because people are investing in your systems now. They're investing in your ecosystems now. If these games are not going to be there exclusively, then that is a failure on your part and not being clear on what this should be. They should have came out and said, Xbox is proud to give you the friggin' Indiana Jones exclusively on Xbox. That's it. End the story. Just like Sony came out and said Spider-Man's not going anywhere.
It's a win-lose situation, right, for them because if they put it in Game Pass and let's just say they put it in Game Pass, which we know it's going to go there, and it doesn't do well, people will be like, oh, whatever, and they won't think about it. So when it comes to PlayStation, nobody will care. Let's just say it's like, and let's just say
like Tomb Raider, right? With Tomb Raider came
and here's what I'll say: if it's scoring like, let's just give benefit of the doubt. If it's that Tomb Raider feel like it's scoring in the realm of like a Tomb Raider, people when it comes to PlayStation will buy it, right?
Yeah.
But if it's like,
if it's like a clone of Uncharted, though, I think people will be insulted though. PlayStation,
dude, if it's getting 6s and 5s, nobody's gonna care if it's multiplayer or not. That's the only thing. And here's the thing. Say it's scoring that Tomb Raider number. Look at Ori and the Will of the Wisp. It came and died in Game Pass. Nobody's talking. That's why I think the problem with that's the problem with Game Pass is it's not the problem that games go on there. It's the problem that games go on there day one. And if they're good, they get lost in the sauce, and nobody cares about them. Nobody talks about them.
That's it. I got a new term. Here come my silent Frog said it. Lost in the sauce. Frog, that is actually a very good observation that it's not only the fact that these games are going into Game Pass day one, but the good games are getting thrown in with a bunch of shit and it still smells like shit because they're amongst shit. It gets lost in the sauce. So like games like Ori and stuff just go in there and just die and become another kind of ticket. Like it's a game for February. Here you go.
And guess what? And I'm gonna tell you what happened.
And they don't have that place to shine because they just get thrown in there with a bunch of.
Let's just say Ori the collection comes out on PS5 this summer, right?
Yeah.
Because I still do think Ori is coming to PlayStation 5 because it's not, Microsoft doesn't have that IP. It's not their developer. Let's just say Ori comes out on PlayStation 5, and they give you part 1 and part 2, the Ori Will of the Wisp and the other one, right? Why that game will be so big on PlayStation 5? Because PlayStation guys don't know about this game because it's on Xbox. B, it'd be a new IP that they never heard of. That game will blow up huge, and it kind of has to be a smack to Microsoft in the face, like, hey, you did 1 and you did 2, and it's doing mega numbers on PlayStation 5, not because it plays better or looks better. It's just because now you put it in a place and you gave it value, and people can see the value in it.
Yeah.
Where you throw something in a subscription like that, it's like
look at Hivebusters. Look at Hivebusters.
Look,
people are saying how good Hivebusters is.
I have Netflix, And I can tell you, there's a lot of trash on. There's a lot of trash on.
You got to filter
Netflix,
through the trash
right?
to get the gems. That's the thing.
And guess
just like
what?
Tomb Raider. It's just
and
like
you know how I
Indiana
pretty much I watch some of the movies that are trash, but there, a lot of times I see what's the top 10 things that are there with people watching, and then sometimes this is trash in the top 10. I'm like, why are people watching this trash?
Yeah,
I don't get it. You know, when you get movies like or
they
TV shows like
it doesn't
you
give
know
games
Cobra
a chance
Kai
to
and
shine.
Netflix, you're like you see the quality of Cobra Kai, you're like, yo, and guess what? YouTube was like, hey, we see the quality, and I'm pretty sure they talked to YouTube Red and said, hey, we need to do some deals because we're getting more money from Netflix. This
Then they'll
Cobra
get
Kai
from the
blew up
YouTube
on
Red
YouTube.
subscriptions because they couldn't make their own
And
content.
so what I'm saying? Like, so you gotta have, and I think the problem with Game Pass is you just are not gonna have the amount of quality, no matter what anybody says, you just don't have the amount of quality going to that subscription service to keep people saying, well, it's just a better value, it's a better. They got the same. I'm gonna say it like this. I gotta say it for the new year. They got the same fucking games we've had in it for 7
I know.
years
It
on
looks like
this console.
GameStop
Like,
used list.
and then all the new games they put in there are ass. Bleeding Edge is ass. That Grounded game is it's okay, but it's okay, but this is not what you are selling your premise of Game Pass on. And I think that some people, I think here's a double-edged sword of Game Pass too. I think the people who are on PC, who primarily play on PC, who are subscribed to Game Pass, they're the ones who are hyping up the console gamers to really believe that it's the end-all be-all everything, because they don't care about the console. Like the PC guys just want your console to die anyway.
They just want
They're
the games.
greedy.
They just want the games.
Yeah, they just want the games.
That's the thing. As I'm like, I would like to see the console come back in a sense, but you know what? The thing is that I do have the PCs and stuff, and it is good to just jump on some Game Pass games and jump off. Like Microsoft's going to have to try to get that sustainability. And when people say Game Pass value,
but how do you keep people?
Look, by dropping games every month?
I said it to you earlier. When we weren't live. I said this, and I still believe this. A circle of people we run in the game, from all the podcasts I've watched, from the gamers I've seen on my Twitter profile, to I would honestly say the majority of people who are primary PC gamers are disgruntled Xbox guys or girls. And the reason I say that is because they're primarily talking about the same Xbox games for the last 4 years, the same Xbox games, and then they'll talk about their onesies and twosies of some multi-plats, but they're mostly talking about Xbox games. Oh, did you see the new Hive Busters? I'm like, you're still talking about Gears of War.
I would say even
you're talking
worse.
about nobody. Like, who's playing? Who's really?
What's even worse?
And then you look at the numbers.
Yeah,
I don't get it. I
know.
it.
No,
Whereas
I think that
on the other side of the table, you have other people that are playing a variety of different. I'm not saying PC games are fickle, which I kind of do think they are.
Yeah.
Because it's like PC is so different than console.
There's so many.
But I think
there's a lot of different things.
I think a lot of the PC people who built PCs and they swear by PC were Xbox gamers. And they were like, well, we're just going to wait. We won't play anything on PlayStation. We'll wait till it comes here. And then when they realize, shit, that game's not coming here for a long time, they're like, we got to buy a PS5. So you got a lot of people with PCs and PS5, or you'll have people who will shit on PlayStation or Nintendo, or they'll own Nintendo, but they shit on PlayStation because their games aren't on their PC because they're Xbox guys at heart. Yeah. And look, if you love those kind of games, but don't shit on somebody else.
I don't like the shaming that you got to get your games now through a goddamn $10 bill service and not buy them.
That.
And the thing is that it all perceived value. Like when I tell people that the medium is $50, they're like, "Oh, I'm glad it's in Game Pass." Like that's a statement right there. That's a problem with.
But you know what that says? That says like if you told somebody Spider-Man Miles Morales was in PlayStation Now, they'd be like, "What?
I'm buying it. Like, woo! I'm in it." Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? They're gonna either sign up, but they're gonna get excited when you say something like Medium is in Game Pass. And like, shoot, guys, in Game Pass, that means you had no interest in that game. You weren't gonna buy it.
And that's the thing. How successful is a service that a majority of the content is like, I'm not interested in, but I'll play it because it's in Game Pass.
When Spider-Man Miles Morales got announced and people heard about it, and even though they joked and talked about its DLC, we knew that game was going to be big. We knew it was going to sell because people were interested in what they saw.
And it has to do with marketing and being in touch with what the people want. And, that's the thing that I always get. I criticize Microsoft for not knowing what the gamers want. They know what they want. They want the cloud. They want streaming. But the content is what's going to bring those people there, and they
They
really
want
got to
an
make sure.
income.
That's
that
why a game
they
like
want. They you know what they want? Microsoft, and this is my opinion. Microsoft wants to be the owner of the rental property, and they just want to keep charging rent. The problem is they're charging rent from a place that is in a bad community that has roaches, it has rats, it has an ant problem. You're always hearing drive-by shootings, and then every once in a while you'll have a nice sunny day where your kid can go outside and play in a community park. But other than that, you have to stay in your house because it's really not that great, But the rent is cheap, and that's how I kind of feel. I
yeah.
kind of feel like Game Pass is the place you live where the rent is
Well,
cheap.
and
And
that's
you're
the
like,
one
well, the
thing
rent is
that
cheap. The
I'm
rent is cheap.
always
I got access to the swimming pool, my electricity, and everything is included in my
yeah.
rent, so it's cheap and it feels good. But then
Yeah.
you look at where
Like
you're living, you're like, yeah, my
like I
walls are
don't,
concrete. It
but I
smells
don't
like roach
mind
spray in the
paying for
hallways.
the
People smells like piss on the
like
stairs.
I don't
I
mind the
mean, come
whole
on.
like the inexpensiveness, and definitely like I'd rather pay $10 than $70. But the thing is that if what you're getting for $70 is worth the $60 and $70, and you find it's worth it and something you're interested in, then fine. But like, just because people want to spend that money, if you're getting the same games day and date that are $60 and $70 that should be worth $60 and $70 because they look like that and it looks like it, then Game Pass becomes a deal. But when you're getting games that you're like, I wasn't gonna buy it, but it's in Game Pass, so this stuff it's cheap. I don't care. Like
Like I
Buck Rogers
said,
saying, like that, then Game Pass value is definitely not as marketed as
Judge, you
advertised.
heard what you said? I was gonna buy it, but it's in Game Pass. That's like somebody saying, "Man, I'm living in this apartment complex that Microsoft's renting me. I was gonna buy a new sofa set, but somebody left one out there sitting on the curb, so I'll just go get that one. It's good
Yeah,
enough."
and that's the
Why not?
thing. Like, how
You see what I'm
successful can
saying?
a service
I
be?
don't get it.
How can a successful, can a service be if that's what its content is? So, like, a game, just to kind of roll this up into the Indiana Jones thing, like, this is something that if it's in Game Pass and it's a great game, and Microsoft should tout it as an exclusive. Like, this is the thing that they need to
Yes.
get in front of it from. And the fact that
Once
people
again,
they're
bad
not
marketing,
there.
guys.
It's marketing deals. And the
Bad
thing is that,
marketing.
like, when Sony has something, like, they get in front of it and everybody's like, is this going to Xbox? Like, why is this a Sony exclusive? Like, Sony's the one to drop that announcement, and everybody wonders if it's going to go to Xbox. Like Kenna and Project Athia and Final Fantasy 16. Like, those are exclusives.
Hey, Mog. Yes, I'm telling you, man. That's what Game Pass is, man. Game Pass.
Free bed
Game
bugs.
Pass is the apartment complex.
Hit that
you come
like
out
button,
and
everybody.
people,
Hit that like
and
button.
people are sitting
Whatever
on
your
that
name
shit,
is,
and you're like,
get
yo,
ready
why
for the
does it
big.
smell like piss out here? And the guy looks at you sitting there stupid, like, because we pissed, and you can't say nothing to him because you know he got a strap on him, even though he shouldn't own it.
Snap.
And he should be. I'm telling you, that's what Game
Who
Pass
are
is.
you?
That Game Pass is like, we want
Stop
you to
it.
rent, we don't never want you to own. Sony's like, you can own, and we're gonna build you a better house, and you can take this house and you can give it to somebody else, and we're gonna build you a better house next time.
And speaking about nice
Microsoft
houses,
is like,
let
hey,
me get
just keep
into
renting.
the other topic that we had, which was
Free bed bugs.
free bed bugs, which is this one. We're going to go here. Let me go to my display. Let's see if this works. No, that's not going to work. I got to get rid of this thing. Hold on. Get rid of this, and we're going to go into display. So, Frog, you have to look at the chat.
Right?
So I got here. Now, can you see the PlayStation logo here?
Hold on one
On the
second.
thing, guys, can you see it? Let me just make sure. Yes, they could see it. So here we are. So out of the CES, talking about games, and I just mentioned like Returnal and things like that, like exclusive games that they were clear about. Like Microsoft, like if this game was Indiana Jones was exclusive, like I saw Phil and Greenberg did their thing. Phil was like so excited for Bethesda, can't wait to find out more. Like, Phil sounded like he was not part of it. Like, he's just going to find out more. So, I'm thinking it's just going to be one of those
Hey,
out of
because you know what?
things.
Todd is sitting there like, look, we need to make our money on the side, too. So,
you
y'all can go ahead and rent your
this whole
apartments
Bethesda
out.
exclusive thing, I think a lot of people that are just adding
Yeah.
this stuff to the list, hey, to be honest, Microsoft has created a great list. Like, if you look at the list and you look at Fable, Perfect Dark, Halo, we should have been playing already, and you look at but these other games, Fable, Perfect Dark, Avowed, now you got Bethesda games such as Elder Scrolls, and now Indiana Jones. Like, even though that
and whatever
falls
the
under
next Fallout will
like
be.
that is a nice list. But the thing is that guess what, guys? It's just a list. You have no gameplay. You have no years tied to these games. You don't even know what this game is. And like I said, Indiana Jones hype goes from hero to zero if people start thinking this is not an Uncharted game, but it's a first-person shooting game, you know, that they made this way, or it's a spin-off of Indiana Jones, and maybe it's just a short little adventure. I don't know. Is it AAA? I don't know. Maybe it's a 10-hour little Indiana Jones experiment while the A team is working on Wolfenstein 3. I don't know. We need to see more. And Microsoft right now, it's a list. It's a great list with a big question mark. And the big issue with this is the fact that all those games that are on that list is the games that are going into Game Pass. And if those games are going to be like the one game a year that's like a Gears 5 that just gets dropped in Game Pass, great. You know what I mean? That you get a big AAA game, but I'm not subscribing for a whole year to play one game in the middle at the end of the year. That's on them to do that stuff. But we come now to the PlayStation, what they announced at CES, and they actually put dates, and some of these games are coming out sooner than we even friggin' thought. And right now, the biggest thing, Ratchet & Clank coming 2021. So that was announced on the thing, was 2021. Horizon Forbidden West still confirmed coming 2021. Now, these could change whenever. Returnal, 3/19/2021. They've been hyping that up a lot, you know, and there you go, the marketing, making us give a crap about Returnal. We're seeing gameplay, like, see how they're building, and Sony's been doing this. They did this with Days Gone. They build your hype up. They make you see the game so that you are not dependent on Metacritic. You can make some judgments as you see more and more of the game. Where Microsoft, I find with their marketing, they rarely do that. They kind of hide the game and then stealth drop it into Game Pass. So people are very dependent on review scores to tell them if it's a good game or not. Whereas I could tell you for like Days Gone and Returnal, like, I'm actually seeing it. I'm making calls. I'm like, oh, that looks cool. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, I'm able to make some judgment calls on it. Like, they don't do that with a lot of the other games. They kind of just stealth drop. Like, the Medium wasn't even promoted by Xbox. It was promoted by IGN getting a 14-minute playthrough and a Ryan McCaffrey preview. Xbox was not in front of their game helping them hype it up. Hey, if they're in Game Pass, you should be pumping that up and interviewing the person and talking about the game and doing all the stuff they're not. And look at Returnal.
Well,
they got Del Web
it's just like when you go on your PlayStation 5 and you do your wish list. When I look at my wish list, I'm like, well, how many of these games are multiplat? And I would say, as far as I'm looking at,
I don't have my
them
thing hooked up, but to show that,
yeah, a lot of them are exclusive, but there's a lot of multiplat. But I'm looking at the majority of them are exclusive. And that's because I'm interested. You know, I got Returnal in there. I got
like they're doing those dev diaries on the dashboard. They keep talking about it.
You know, I don't know if Deathloop is exclusive or not.
It is.
But I have it in there
exclusive
because
for
I
a
want
year.
to see. Yeah, and here's the thing. Even if
Ghostwire Tokyo, the other Bethesda game, exclusive October 21st. It's October 21st. So they got Deathloop in May and Ghostwire in October, and those are 1 year exclusives. So they will now go to Xbox a year after that. So you're talking next May and you know what? That's
October. A good thing. The reason it's a good thing is because if it's a great game, and here's the hints: if it's a great game, everybody gets to experience it. You know, like I do believe Godfall will come to Xbox eventually, and I do believe that
that's coming.
Crossplay and all that.
Yeah. Oh, here's Solar Ash. Well, the other ones here, Pragmata, which is that Capcom game, is coming 2023. All right, so that's fall. 2023 for Pragmata, 2 years. Solar Ash is an indie, June 21, June 21st.
Yep, I got that on my save list.
Kenna is in March 2021.
I can't wait.
I can't. So like you got Kenna and you got Returnal coming in March. That's two pretty impressive games for PlayStation 5. Yeah. 2 PlayStation 5 exclusives in that one. Stray, which is that cat game, is October 21st. Yes.
I got that as far as the wish list.
The Little Devil Inside, which is that weird one with the guy taking a dump. That's July 21st to 2021. Yeah. And then Project Athia, which is that exclusive, January 2022. Mm-hmm. And then Hitman is in January 2021, which we know about that one. And just to jump into it, I'm going to put up Gordon Ramsay. He's going to tell you how to make the filet mignon, and we're going to hear what he has to say. This is his little blurb.
Vision was to transform entertainment through deeper immersive experiences and new technology that heightens emotions.
Donkeys!
We drew on 25 years of experience in R&D and a deep respect for our community to develop a true next-generation console, PlayStation 5. Our community is networked like never before and is more diverse than they've ever been. Diversity across backgrounds, ages, genders, locations contributes to the magic that is the PlayStation community. And we celebrate and embrace the differing viewpoints and tastes that make up our community. We believe in storytelling at PlayStation. It's part of our DNA. We'll continue to bring incredible quality games through our PlayStation studios after years of organic growth and selective acquisitions. Our studios have helped deliver the best launch lineup in PlayStation history. And what a diversity of content, from Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales to Sackboy and the upcoming Horizon Forbidden West. Our studios develop premium content for a wide variety of PlayStation gamers. And we have the best partnerships in the business, from big blockbuster titles like Call of Duty to inventive indies like Bugsnax. There's something for everyone.
This one's lively.
We're also really thrilled to bring some of the best PlayStation IP to new media like film and television. You'll see this year the upcoming Tom Holland film, Uncharted, based on our iconic adventure games. And The Last of Us, a gritty, emotional journey, will be coming to HBO. This is just the beginning of the expansion of our storytelling into new media and even wider audiences. Sony is a creative entertainment company, and entertainment has never been more important. PlayStation 5 was SIE's most successful launch and the biggest console launch of all time. We're grateful for our community and to be part of an organization that values creativity, diversity, innovation, and bringing people together. Have a great CES.
I'm on the... And there he goes, and he has his hype reel. Yeah, so yeah, and then they had that blog there, and that's the thing that I just showed on that thing. So Gordon Ramsay told us how to make the filet mignons, and we're good. So like, and one other thing too, I wanted to show here before I get off the screen share thing, Frog, is that the 24 seconds of that Destruction All Stars gameplay, which has been kind of hidden and showed a little bit, but that is actually going to be coming out next month in PlayStation Plus. And, it looks pretty damn cool. So I'm going to let that run right now. That guy was flying out there with a scar. That was pretty cool. He jumps out of the car into another car, like Titanfall.
Yeah. And I think that's the thing. I think that, when you start looking at, the games in this current generation we're in.
I think it looks pretty cool.
Yeah, some of these games are looking cool. I want... even though I know times are hard for people, and I own a PS5, I eventually want to own an Xbox Series X, and I don't want to be. I'm gonna be honest, I don't want to be subscribed to Game Pass because I want to be able to play those onesies and twosies that I can play. But the more that they kind of say, well, here's the more games I see that are just I guess the quality of the games is it makes me say, do I need an Xbox X? Because I have an Xbox Series X. Because I have an Xbox X, and I don't see like the jump from me.
Right.
Look, the jump from me from my Xbox One X to Xbox Series X. I guess I'm gonna have to see that game that's gonna make me really want to jump and say,
that's what everybody's waiting for, dude.
Like Halo. The rumor is Halo is, and I know I don't want to go totally off subject, but I know they said Halo's rumored to not be on any consoles other than the Series S and Series X.
Oh no! They came out and said it's cross-gen.
Oh, it is cross-gen.
The developer came out and said Bungie came. Not Bungie. I wish it was Bungie. 343 came out and said it is cross-gen, so they're not dropping.
Okay,
the
so that was just a
X
rumor. Okay,
so
I mean, I don't know what to think. Like right now.
But that list of games, like I tell you, that's a pretty damn crazy lineup right now that they got coming out. Like it looks pretty stacked. Like where do you think Horizon's gonna fall? Like where do you think it's gonna go? You think it's a holiday game?
Oh,
and Ratchet
I don't
and
know
Clank, which
God,
I'm interested in.
God of War is supposed to come out. I think that.
And Horizon, you got Horizon. God of War's not on that list though. That's another thing.
Yeah. And I think God of War is definitely not coming out this year, even though they announced it for this year. I think they just wanted to let you know what's coming. I think
Yeah.
God of War is probably going to be a next year game. I think that August we may get Horizon Zero Dawn in like August time frame, like right at the end of the summer, July, August, like right after E3, in digital E3. It'll be another digital E3. I don't think, and I hate to keep bringing COVID up, but I don't think that anything goes back to the way we used to know it.
Yeah.
And I think that Microsoft is in a good position because they're trying to push this the streaming stuff. But I think the bad thing about it is the infrastructure is not ready for it yet. And with more people staying at home, I think I've seen the internet have such a strain. No matter if you have fiber, no matter what kind of internet you have, the internet is straining because more people are at home working from home and doing more at home.
Yeah.
So I think, like I said, I've had my PS5 hooked up physically. Hardwired to the wall. My games download fast. I have pretty good internet speed, but not everybody is me. So what I can speak from my experience is, I think that like you said, digital game sales do go up. I think we do see not only digital game sales go up, I see you see more digital sales coming quicker. Like this is the first holiday where I saw the physical and the digital version of the game almost be the same price.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
for instance, when Assassin's Creed went to $29, it was $28 digitally. When Watch Dogs Legions went to $28 in the store for Black Friday sales, it was the same price digital. So I think you're going to see more games that when the sales hit the store for the physical, you're going to see that hit the digital store too. I think you're going to see, and Sony, if I'm not mistaken, Sony still has their Christmas holiday sale going.
It's until the
I think
20th.
that
They added some games out to the 20th.
right, and I think that because uh, we saw a release of a digital and a physical console, even though more people own the PlayStation with the
But what do
disc.
you think
Because
Horizon? You think Horizon's coming out in the summertime? You don't think it's gonna be a
I
fall?
I think that nope. I think end of the summer. I think Sony doesn't release any major game. In my
Well, what about
opinion,
Ratchet?
uh,
You think it's
I,
spring?
it has to be
Now
spring.
it seems like they got their
I
March
think
lined up.
August.
Now
I think
Ratchet's not
August is
coming
the
out in
latest.
March. Ratchet's
August
gonna
is
come in
the
summertime.
latest. Yeah, August is the latest you can release a game. I think that most developers that are developing first party games, they don't want any of their first party games to come out after August. They don't want any of them to come out
Well,
after August. They're
so
just like between
Ratchet.
August and December, let the third
I
party developers just have that
well,
time
what
frame.
about Ratchet in August and then Horizon Ratchet in June
I'm
and then
thinking I'm thinking we get Ratchet in like April, and I'm thinking because I think Ratchet's further
okay
along than
because you got
Horizon.
Returnal in
Yeah,
March, Kenna
yeah,
in March. So it seems like
yes. I think
Ratchet's not
Ratchet
coming
is.
out in March.
I think April, May, and then I think July, August
They're
we
not
get
releasing anything in July.
Horizon. Yeah,
No,
because
you think
yeah,
Horizon in July?
I think
That's
July to
only if they
August, right?
got God of War still lined up.
No, and I think the God of War is next year in
See, I
March.
think they're not going to show Horizon gameplay until July
If they show it in July, then that
as a
game.
holiday game.
If they show it in July, we're not getting that game till like September.
Chat, when do you got Grinders? When do you think Horizon's coming out and Ratchet? See, my
I
thinking
mean,
is that I think
Jazz, let's be real. Do they need to release? Let's just be totally honest with ourselves. Does Sony release? And let's be real. Do they really need to release um, Horizon and God of War in the same year? They don't need to. One of those
no.
games can get pushed back, and it's going to be God of War until next year because I think that they release it early next year. I think that
Yeah,
Ratchet is
the
farther
Kuma
along
19.5 says God
because
of War will be delayed. I think God of War will be
yeah,
delayed. Yeah,
I think God of War comes out early
and it'll be a
March of
PlayStation
next
5
year.
only game maybe.
Yeah, yeah, and it'll be and I think at that point, yes, at that point, yes. If it comes out this year, it's going to be on PS4.
Yeah,
But here's the other thing, and I don't know how much a rumor this is. Once again, this is just I don't know this to be fact. From what I've heard and what I've been seeing and reading, PlayStation stopped production on PS4 and PS4 Pro. They no longer produce them. They only are producing PS5s now.
yes. Well, in Japan, I
Yes,
think, right?
and no, no. I read worldwide production has stopped
Really?
because they want total dominance production on PlayStation 5. I know Japan, yes, for a fact that stopped, but they said from what I was reading, it's a worldwide thing. Right now, it's very hard to buy a brand new PlayStation 4 at all. It's nearly impossible. So, um, Yeah, I honestly think that, March of this year, we're gonna see a huge influx of PlayStation 5s. You'll be able to just walk in stores and buy
I
them.
think that's the problem. Is really
Yeah,
the whole thing.
because right
with
now,
the
right now it's
stock.
January, right? It's mid-January. I think once PlayStation 5 becomes readily available, um, that's when you'll start knowing more, because they're going to base their games off of and launch dates off of how many
Yeah.
systems they have sold. And like, what have they sold? What, 5 million already?
I don't know. Well, there's
Like
speculation on it, but yeah, I see.
speculation,
But
five
that's
million.
where I
So
think Horizon's timed more when they are coming out with like when you could go in and probably buy one. Like that's what
yeah,
I think. Like Horizon will do.
and that's why I think, and that's what I think, and I don't think they need two big first party games a year is really good.
Dominic says
That's
Ghost launched in July, so yeah, so maybe they will drop it
yeah.
in
See,
July.
yeah, that's why I say
I forgot.
I don't think
Wow,
July
it
is
did come in
I don't think
July.
July is a bad. I
End
don't
of
think
July.
July is a
When did
bad
Ghost
time
come
frame.
out? It came at end of
But
July.
but I think it was July 14th. Yeah, I can't remember. I can look.
I'm looking.
But
now.
my whole thing is
Yeah,
like, I
July
don't think July is
17th. Yes, it came out July 17th.
so okay, 17th.
So they didn't.
I don't think it's a bad launch window, but I don't think God of War comes out. If Horizon comes out in July, then we're not getting God of War until next year. If Ratchet comes out in July, we could get God of War. So basically, they would have to have their major game at the beginning of the year and a major game at the end. But there's no way they have two major games at the end. I think that Sony doesn't want to do that.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
so
why
I do think.
I'm
I do
thinking
think
you're
that we
right.
get
I think
that.
the May and April is prime for what is it? For Ratchet and Clank. I think May
Yeah.
like April and May is prime for that one. Probably Horizon in the summertime, and then maybe you God of War in August or something like that. Or
Because you
September,
got to look
if
what
you're
comes
doing
out.
if your God of War staying.
The Neo 2 collection is coming out next month. That's February. It's just a
Yeah.
remaster, which I have a whole question about.
They
that
got
'cause I
tons of
own Neo
games
Far-
this year, though. If you look at that list, like
They
and
have
that's
tons
just
of them, but
that's just
I
the
have some- I
headline
have some
is.
questions.
You're talking about like
'cause
Returnals and all this, like well, not Returnal, but like Kenna.
Deathloop is May.
Deathloop is May. Yeah, that's an
Deathloop
exclusive.
is
And then
May.
the other one's
Neo
October.
Neo Collection, I think it is coming to PC,
And
which is going to be
Tokyo, the
February.
Ghostwire Tokyo is another one. That's October.
Yeah, Returnal
Oh, and
comes
Gran
out.
Turismo 7 too. Dominic says.
Yeah,
Damn.
we don't know anything about that. That could be. Now, I can see Gran Turismo coming at the end of the year as a holiday game, right in like October, November timeframe, because it's a racing game, and they're like, okay, well, this gives people. I could see that.
That
But
could
God
be a
of War
July
won't
game
come out
too.
near it. There's a lot of exclusives coming out, and I'm looking at it's like,
ones.
My biggest problem is some of the games they have coming out. Like there's not like the Neo Collection Edition.
That's
like
a remaster remake.
My whole thing is I own both of them, so I'm like, do I
Yeah.
just since I own them on PS4, do I get the PS5 enhancement or no? Do I have to buy it
Yeah,
all over?
I know.
Again?
Buck Rod says Sony don't even care about Halo after what Papa Phil showed. I know, but see, this is the thing.
My thing is,
and just
and
talking about the other thing. Just talking about the other thing.
Why,
like you got
but
Halo.
That's why I want God of War to get delayed to next year. Because I want Halo to have his own limelight, so I can just play that through the holiday. Which I do believe Halo is coming out like holiday this
November.
year. Which
it's coming out on the 20th anniversary. Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, anniversary. But
and,
see,
and
I yawn when I talk about Halo. I'm yawning. But Frog, this is the other thing.
Dude,
the thing
if
about
God
Halo,
of War comes out at the same time as Halo, Halo's dead.
But Frog, what else though? This is the other thing about Halo. What's the biggest part of Halo that everybody wants to do in Halo?
Multiplayer.
That's free.
Yeah. Yeah,
so
it's
like,
free. But my thing is multiplayer. And I'm like, why haven't they shown
I'm
it?
saying exactly. But the thing is that even Halo is like it's a free to play multiplayer. We have no clue what that is. Is it gonna be full fledged? Are they gonna ship Halo multiplayer with like, oh, here's capture the flag and an arena. Oh, and we're gonna add a big team battle next month, and then we're gonna add a big team capture the flag the month after that, and then we're gonna add vehicles like. If they do that to Halo, like what does Halo free to play look like? Like that's the thing. Like Halo is free to play. So the game that they're shipping, that what Craig was going to come out with all the chest hair and the gold chains like the Bee Gees when he gets his hair back and hits puberty. When he comes out in this, that's just the single player game. That's the part that's going to be in Game Pass. But like, is the multiplayer going to release at a different time? And it's free to play, which means you don't even need Game Pass to play the Halo multiplayer unless they tie in some sort of items and stuff to Game Pass or some game modes, which I doubt. But the thing is like Halo now is just segmented so much. It's not going to be that one big event because it's unless they put the multiplayer out with it. But it's just it leaves such a bad taste in my mouth. The fact that Halo is just kind of divvied up like that, and I'm not sure if it's going to have the impact that it was. But if you look at what their games are, they got Medium, Halo, which we should have been playing those games. Those games should have been played and finished by now.
Yeah, they should have been.
So that's not even like you're looking at like, oh, there's a 2021 lineup. No, it's actually that 2020 lineup just got delayed to 2021. Like, just right. Halo and Medium fall into this year because they got pushed out of last year. So you got Halo.
Hey, what happened to the game with the girl in it? What's that name? What's the game? The game with the girl who's like chanting, and we haven't seen anything about
Everwild?
It. No, not Everwild. The girl with the I like her first game. It was on PlayStation. It was multiplayer.
Oh, Hellblade.
It's only on Hellblade. What happened to that?
Oh, I don't know. See, that's what I mean. Like, they showed Hellblade 2 years ago. 2019, they showed a Hellblade trailer, and we have yet to see anything. And we're in 2021. That game comes out
this year.
This is the. You think?
I think this year.
You think they stealth launch Hellblade 2? Just drop it like this year? I don't know.
We'll see.
But this
man.
is the
know,
stuff
man.
that I like. You know, this is the stuff that like I just don't grasp. Like it's like the
Wait,
stuff.
Let me ask you a question. Do you still own your Series X, or did you send Craig back?
Craig? Oh no, Craig. So I sold it to my cousin. My cousin has it now.
Oh, okay.
So my cousin has a Series.
Okay.
I sold it to him. You know, he wanted it. He played a lot of. He had the Xbox games, so I sold it to him. But I did have you know, because I was just like after a month or two having it, like I wasn't using it. I even signed up for Game Pass, and I was.
What was the biggest difference that you saw going from this generation or last generation to this generation with the Xbox?
Well, I thought Halo 5, like everything. Like I played Halo 5. I played Halo Master Chief Collection. I played all those games, and I'm like, wow, they look great, but they look like old games that just have higher resolutions on them, and they don't have like the whole graphical aspects and all that other stuff to it. Like they don't have a next gen like feel like next gen. They just feel like, oh, they're just sharper looking old games, and I'm like, I just played Halo 5 a lot because I haven't played that. And again, it was the only exclusive that I could not play on PC. But they really finesse you, though, on Xbox, and the fact that you really got to get Game Pass to enjoy it. Because if you just want to play all the games that you own online, it's $10 a month for Xbox Live, or you got to go find the $60 Xbox Live card on eBay somewhere because there's no way to get a 1-year subscription anymore. So you got to either pay $10 a month or $25 for 3 months. And it leaves, and meanwhile on PC, I could play all the games that I own for free. But all those games that I own for Xbox, either 360 games, my whole catalog, over 300 games, I couldn't play at all without paying $10 a month. So my only option is Game Pass. And they friggin' get you. You know what I mean?
Now I do know Game Pass is a service app like model, because I do know there was one day I went on Game Pass and it says Game Pass is down. And I was like, wait, how can Game Pass be down? It was down.
Oh,
I was like, wow, I didn't know Game Pass
would
go down.
You know, the thing is like this year, like it's really last year. This should be this year. So like the big games like Halo, which was the only one, like think about it, if Halo came out already and we played it, what would they have for this year? Like
I don't know.
We don't know.
I think a lot of
Fable,
their games in development are too far out.
Yeah,
I think a lot of games in development
Avowed, Hellblade, maybe Hellblade. I was just, now that you brought it up, maybe Hellblade is gonna come out this year. Maybe they'll have Hellblade and Halo, you know. But that will be
Hellblade comes out and it tries to go against Horizon. I would love to see it that battle.
Man,
I would love to see that. And that's the thing. I want to see competition, but I don't think
that would be good. Hellblade and Horizon coming out. Yeah.
I don't think the gaming division of Microsoft wants competition anymore. Yeah. They're just trying to survive.
I do think that Horizon is gonna be that game where that everybody's just gonna get just to show the amazing graphics on the PlayStation, like just the amazing
Yep.
stuff of PlayStation 5. Like
that's gonna be a game you're like,
it's
yo,
gonna
you
be
gotta
a
get a
showcase
PS5 to
game.
play this because it's
And
that much
exactly.
different than the PS4 version.
Yeah, and they're gonna have a showcase game on that one. But the thing is that there's a good lookout. Like we got a new announcement now. But again, that game, Indiana Jones, doesn't look like it's coming out anytime soon. I'm kind of my just little grind about this whole thing is that I'm kind of done with these whole little trailers and not showing gameplay, especially for games that we have no clue what they are. They could do a little trailer for Horizon. They could do a little trailer for God of War. We played those games already, so we kind of have an idea. They could do a little trailer for Gears 6. We know what Gears of War is.
Do you think the next Horizon comes out, Forza Motorsport comes out this year? They haven't announced it, but do you think the next Forza comes out this year? Because I'm thinking that's what's going to happen.
They said early. All that stuff is early. They got Psychonauts 2, which is a multi-plat.
Yeah, they got a lot. They have a lot of multi-plats, but they're touting me as this because they bought the companies, but there are a lot of multi-plats.
Well, they got Psychonauts
I think
2,
people
and everybody keeps saying Starfield is coming out. We didn't see anything about Starfield like 4 years ago. They say Starfield's coming out, but like.
I'm hoping that Microsoft's and with their gaming division and Xbox, I'm hoping Xbox just has these things I don't know about, and they launch them and they're good, and it makes me want to go buy.
That's what helping is the guys' vacation picks.
Yeah, I don't think I'll if I can't have Xbox Live for that 1 year price, I just won't invest in Xbox Live anymore, and I'll just buy the games here and there I want because I don't have as many friends on Xbox anymore. All of them moved to PlayStation. Just because they're like, oh, it's a bigger, diverse library over here.
I know. Well, the thing is we'll see how this plans out. Like Sony did, with that list, did come out with kind of a roadmap here where, you're looking at your next kind of big games coming out in February, besides their first party games or like their games. Returnal and Kenna, then Solar Ash, an indie game in June, October Stray, Tokyo in there, May, in October for Tokyo Ghostwire. Tokyo, and then I'm more interested in Deathloop, which that comes out in May. Little Devil Inside is July, and then Project Athia 2022. That's another exclusive. And then I don't know where Final Fantasy 16 or God of War fall into this whole list, but you got Ratchet and Clank and Forbidden West, those two games. And if you look at last year, they came out with it. And the thing is, I think the way Sony's thinking is that they got to stack the deck right now because they got to build that space because they're still in the console business. Microsoft is not in a rush. They're not in a rush to kind of race to beat Sony like they were back at the 360 things. Oh yes, Game Night says they got The Gunk and Stalker 2. Stray is going to be a cat game, like a stealth cat game. But yeah, the Stalker 2 and The Gunk. Stalker 2 was shelved, like I think in 2005.
Did you hear that silence? Did you hear nothing from me?
Yeah,
that's how I feel.
I thought you dropped off. I know, like that's the thing. And the fact is like Stalker 2, I looked at it. Stalker 1 came out in fucking 2004. When did Stalker 1 come out? Like Stalker 2. What is it? Stalker 2. The game was what does it say on their thing? It says that Stalker, the first game, was released first released as Shadow of Chernobyl in 2007. Stalker was Shadow of Chernobyl in 2007, Clear Sky expansion 2008, and Stalker Call of Pripyat in 2009. And now there's a whole big space, and it's like, yeah, let me show you. Like, yeah, I don't know if you can see. Well, look at this. This is how much Stalker is. Like, look at this. There's almost over friggin' a decade for the game. Like, hey, man, I don't know. It's like a decade. I thought that was funny, but yeah, like they got Stalker.
You know what that sounds like? That sounds like a game that sounds like a game that either Black Bond or Ono's Alex would play. I am not interested.
It is a PC game. Like it is a PC game. But hey, Phil like Steam page 7 Steam summer sales. So like hey, whatever. So anyway, so with the whole thing, like we'll see how 2021 lays out. Sony definitely has a roadmap kind of laid out. Microsoft, like after after we see the medium comes out in the next week or two. We'll see how that goes, and then after that, you know, we are just waiting for more news from Microsoft. Again, their list looks nice, but that list, we got to see it become a reality, and also we got to see what these games are. And because Game Pass exists, my doubts are heavily kind of like what these games are going to be. And then when I saw what they did with Halo, and they showed Craig didn't hit puberty yet, and now we have to wait a year for him to grow the chest hair and the gold chains and a beard. You know, I'm like, if they're willing to show Halo like that, who the hell knows what these other games are going to look like with their quality control problems that they got over there? Because I just think they're out of touch with a lot of things.
My personal feeling, just in this year alone, since we and only just
State
only
of
the
Decay 3, yeah, when's that coming out?
What, the State of Decay? Who knows, man.
Page 7 Steam sales. That's what Phil shops.
I personally think that both PlayStation, and this is for the record, I think that both the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X are definitely really good consoles. On the flip side, though, I think that nothing is good as having the software. So if you don't have the software there, it doesn't matter how powerful your console is, what your console can do. You gotta have good software.
Yeah, that's what it is. So they got, and Phil knows that. So we'll see when they bring the software. Like they're lining it up, and we'll see what they do. Again, big question mark. But everybody, hit that like button. The last thing that I just wanted to say, one thing that I wanted to say, and yeah, I didn't do a segment thing for this one, but we're gonna do something called the Gearheads, and basically what this is just like any kind of tech or something that you used or things like that you just want to give a shout out to or just show something. So I'll start off first with just it's not really a techie thing, but you know, shout out to Craig getting a perm for release day. He's gonna come down.
We'll do that. I got something techie or something.
So he's gonna he's gonna come down like the friggin' Bee Gees. He's gonna be, I can tell by the way I walk, I'm a woman's man. No time to talk. He's gonna be coming down with his friggin' chest hair out. Woo! He's back. He's gonna come back like a '70s friggin' pimp. He's coming back with his chest hairs. But yeah, everybody, hit that like button. Share this video out. You know, for the first episode of the Gaming Grindhouse. And what I'm gonna do is my tech
I thought you were gonna say something about something techie.
Oh, I am. So one thing, this thing, I don't know if you can see my screen, is the Flaming Toast. Now, shout out to Blaze 4K and to BitCloud Gaming. They just did videos on this stuff. So this does video. They do mods for your controllers, for your consoles. And the thing that I picked up, and I didn't come in the mail yet, but is the power decal light for the PlayStation 5. So if you look at the PlayStation 5, so I got the one and it's $8.99 now, and it's 99 cents to ship it. This local place in Boston, and it's a local place in Boston for Blaze, not for me. But nice. Like I ordered this one, the PS5 power lights. They got rainbow, they got orange, they got pink, they got red. But this one does the logos of the actual PlayStation. And you got to check out Blaze's video and BitCloud's. BitCloud, I think he has a surprise. I think he went big. I think he did the vinyl on the actual pieces. But supposedly, you just put these strips of these real high quality translucent lights over this one. There's no kind of mod or anything, no LEDs. They're just clear strips. They put them over here, and they basically they show the lights of the logos, but they got all different colors here. So shout out to that. And you know, for $8.99 they're on sale. Ordered them. I ordered 2 of them, one for for each of the PlayStations.
Yeah, they can't see anything, Jazz. They can't.
Oh, snap.
It says the grounds tape. It says the
yeah. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Hey, first day blues. There we go. First blues. There we go.
No, they still can't see it. It's like behind it.
Yeah, I know. I got rid of it now. It's delayed. Okay. Yeah, I'll fix it. Sorry, guys. Okay. Yeah, so go to theflamingtoast.com. And this is the one I ordered, the power light decal symbol one. So I think they can see it now. Double check, because I'm sharing my screen.
Let me check.
I think they can see it now. But yeah, this is the one I got. It's the PlayStation logos.
Okay, yeah, they can see it now. They can see it.
So this is pretty cool. So supposedly you just put that on there, and yeah. I saw mine's in the mail. I'll see. I'll probably do a video when I put it on, but it's just a sticker you put right over there, and they got the different lights. And what's cool is when I saw Blaze did the video, it lights up blue. So like the blue does power through these colors. So it's not just like the blue goes through them, and then when it goes to the white light actually then shows off the colors. And they got orange, they got
That's pretty
green,
cool.
they got yellow, and they got Rasta. They got Rasta.
Yeah, the
colors.
Rasta one is cool. I saw
Yeah.
that. That was cool.
The Rasta one was pretty cool.
That's cool.
The Rasta one, and then they got a rainbow, and then they got just the solid colors too. But yeah, it looked pretty cool. Like Blaze 4K showed his video. It definitely looks cool. They got other things there, but yeah, they're on sale for $8.99 and they're 99 cents to ship. But and it's a removable adhesive, so you don't need to hook up any lights or anything like that. It's just a translucent kind of decal that goes over the light bar. I think you got to take off the panels, but I'll do a video on installing them. When I do, but yeah, that's my shout out for that one. Frog, which one's yours?
So my techie shout out it's a big tech shout out. So most people don't know this. I'm a big I love guns, I love cars. I'm just I love that kind of stuff, man. So I need everybody to go check out the Mercedes S500, the new 2021 Mercedes S-Class 500.
Damn,
oh
Frog
gosh.
going big on episode 1. Damn.
I'm in love with this vehicle. I'm in love with everything. The back tires can turn. This vehicle is so freaking nice. I would love
What
to
is it
own
called?
Let me tell you,
BMW,
go check out
what
the
is
Mercedes.
it? BM or Mercedes?
No, and Mercedes S500 2021. And there's a video, and they show you what it looks like at nighttime drive.
Let's see what Frog's talking about.
My gosh, that thing is
S or F? The S.
S. Like
all right,
like
we're gonna see what Frog's talking about here. Let's see, make sure you guys can see it.
The Mercedes S. Hey, there's a video on YouTube. They show you driving at night.
Oh, dude, there's your interior.
You
Frog.
see how you showed all those colors for the PS5?
Yeah.
You can change all your colors in your car like that.
Yo, that's a pretty slick ass interior, though. That is pretty cool.
Oh my gosh, it has its own refrigerator in the back.
What?
It has yeah. So it has. You can buy the car in 4 different modes. They have one. They all come. Most of them come in limo mode, where the limo mode, basically the back seat can recline all the way out. The front seat go. Oh my gosh, this car is so gorgeous. You see that blue light that goes around? That's actually a blue light that's in the car that goes around the whole car. You can change it to any color you want.
Okay.
And when somebody's coming up beside you and like your side mirror, you know how like on my car on Tesla, I know your Tesla has it. Like it'll blink, so you see the blue light. You know how like when you're trying to get over, it'll blink on your mirror, so you know like hey,
the whole car blinks inside.
And inside of it blinks. Yes, it blinks inside.
Whoa, look at these like, pillow headrests.
Oh my gosh, dude, that car is so sexy. Such a sexy car. I showed my wife, and my wife is like, she wants this car, but she's really in love with the new Grand Jeep. What's that Grand Jeep?
It has like tablets in the back seat?
Yes. Oh my dude, this car is it's everything you could dream for in a car. I love this car. I had to shop this car.
Whoa, look at that. It has like the backrest, like you could like a reclining seat
when you drive, the whole navigation board is 3D. So when it tracks your eye movement.
Look at these.
So if you start getting sleepy, or anything, the car will alert you. It'll start blinking and flashing to wake you up. Yeah, so if you're driving that whole, and then not only is it 3D on the
so how much is it, Frog? Where's the after the sale? How much is it?
The one I would like to get.
I just got to stay informed
100,000.
100,000?
Yeah, the one I would like to get is probably about 100,000.
Dude, it has at CES.
Dude, this car is bad, dude. When you're driving, your all your digital stuff is on the window. It comes up on the window.
What is this?
Yes.
Video? I gotta see this video.
Yes. When you there's a video on YouTube. It shows you. It shows
the
you.
Crew 1985 says his tech shout out is the Xbox Series X.
Dude, this car is amazing. It's the Xbox Series X. The car is amazing, man. Like it's such an amazing piece of freaking
that
technology.
does look freaking sweet though.
And it shows you how far we've come.
Yeah, man.
I remember the cars my parents used to drive, and I'm like, wow, like, don't get me wrong, they were, but dude, I'm a tech guy and anything. So when I saw this car, I was like, that's why I want a Tesla. And I know you've seen the new Tesla Y model.
Yes, my friend just got it.
We
picked this up.
Yes.
Coon says he'll take 2 of them.
Take 2, dude. I mean, I'm just like, oh my gosh, man. Like, that has to be my car at some point. Look, I told myself a while ago, I said, I'm going to own a Mercedes,
One day.
a 500, right?
Yeah.
And I said this probably about a good 7, 8 years ago. And then I owned a Mercedes 500. So now I'm saying, hey, I'm going to get a Mercedes S500 and I will own it. It may take me 5 to 6 years, but I'll own it.
Dominic says he likes either a C8 Corvette or a 2021 Lincoln Continental.
Those are nice.
The Lincoln Continental is nice.
Those are really nice. The new those are nice.
Yeah.
Those are both nice. Yeah, I love cars. I love vehicles, and I love, not every
Frog went
vehicle
big.
has tech in it.
I showed stickers and Frog talked about
I had to shut that
$100,000
car out. I had to shut that car out because I've been watching videos of that car for the past 3 days because I'm in love with it. And I'm like, okay, how do I get this car in my garage?
That's right, Frog. We go big. We go big here at the Gaming Grindhouse. I tell you about the $8.99 stickers to stick on your $500 console. And Frog's talking about
I'm not sitting here talking. I'm not talking about $1 Game Pass deals. I'm talking about $100,000 car.
You can call me Dollar Bill Phil. Just put stickers on your console. Frog's like, screw that, $100,000 car.
$100,000 car.
But anyway, I want to thank everybody. This has been a great show, Frogs. Thank you again. This is the Gaming Grindhouse comes to a close at episode 1. Frog, you could give where everybody can find you, and then we'll head out.
It's Frogs Dreams, and you guys can find me on Twitter at Frogs Dreams. It's 2 G's, FROGGS Dream. Man, I'm enjoying this year so far. I'm trying to start this year off as positive as I can. We've seen some crazy things happen this year already within our government. Just in last year, even though I would say people want to take last year and put it in behind them because a lot of bad things happen, deaths and everything. Don't let your past dictate your future. I would say that. I would say make your future a better future and make it better not just for you, but for those around you. Have fun with your life and enjoy your life in a safe manner.
Amen to that.
Like I just think that, man, we have to, on a real note, we just have to come together more as people, man. Not just in this country, but in this world, man. I want everybody to have a successful and great start to their new year. And I want this year just to be successful for people in general, and I want to see great things come from everybody, especially people that we know in the community that watch our channel. Yeah. I want to be successful with Jazz and on this channel and off the channel. But yeah, I just want the people that follow us too and that listen to us. A lot of stuff we joke and we play about, but we really are passionate about our games and stuff.
Yeah, the game of the hobby, and it's definitely the escape, man.
And the great thing is, and shout out to Cliff Bazinski. He said it too. With everything going on in the government, aren't you happy there's gaming? It gives you an outlet to kind of take your mind off of some of the reality stuff. Sometimes you need to break away from reality and just enjoy something that's different, and then come back to it. There's a time to. I always tell my children, once you become an adult, you have more responsibility, but you can always be a child at heart.
Yep.
And I'm a child.
Hey, that's what we are, man. We're here talking about games on a Tuesday night. We're gonna go play games after this. I know, man.
Exactly.
It is what it is. It's a frame of mind. That's basically it.
That's basically it.
It's a frame of mind, and the thing is that gaming is just it's a great escape. It's better than movies, man, because you interact and sometimes you can even change it, and now gaming has became part of tech and gaming, and everything is just kind of coming together, and everything. So it's really just it's just a great escape and just a good hobby, and it's nice to take that and to show your kids and have them enjoy it as well and share it with them. Tell you, playing Animal Crossing with my son was great. watching him and talking about Fortnite and just talking about the different things and that whole culture with him, it's interesting, and I always tell them though,
we get out of here,
I always tell them that it is a game though. Some people take this too
there
far.
You go.
And I'm like, it's gaming, and we can have fun and stuff. But if things start getting too wild, pull it back because it's just games.
There you go.
And that's why I get insulted. Some people are like, it's just games, but you know what? You need to have that ebb and flow. But you need to know where it stands. Like, this is not your life, but this is a great place for experiencing. And I do think that gaming is great, and it's so accessible now, and with Dollar Bill Phil and friends and all that stuff, and we joke around. But you know what, Game Pass, I'll tell you one thing about it is that it allows you to be a multi-console owner and not have to invest heavily in one ecosystem because of the flexibility of Game Pass and it being on PC and console. So in the real world of things, actually it is a blessing to kind of do that, because now you can easily just kind of dab in when you want and not have to fully invest in one thing, and that flexibility is there. But it was a great stream, great time, man. Frog, a great show. I hope everybody liked the segments. I'm still working on some of the overlays, and we didn't have too many technical difficulties, which was good. But hit that like button. You can follow me here. Hit that subscribe button, because you're going to get more of this. Again, our regular time is going to be Phil made Green Gate again. Oh man. But, and the thing is that, we're going to do this on Monday nights. I'll be at time at 8:30. Today we just got, getting through the kinks and stuff, but hopefully everybody liked it. We'll do more segments. And if you have any comments, any suggestions, please put them in below. I want this to be kind of your guys, the Grinders podcast, and, topics that you guys want to hear. I could add them to the Grinds board, and, we'll talk about them, and then maybe they make it to the Grinds table, the headliner, so definitely thank you again for your support. Hit that like button on your way out. Share this video out. On my mission to get 1,000 subs, and really grow the channel some more. So I'll still be doing the Grinds My Gears when anything gets me heated, and I'll still be doing some streaming, and Frog will be doing streaming on his show, and you can follow me over at Twitter, Jez7780. But next video will be on Monday. And definitely, I'm keeping that soundboard. The soundboard is here, and here you go. And that's my thing out, baby. We're gonna do my Silent Hill sirens. We're gonna do that. But everybody, it's been a pleasure, and I want to thank everybody for the first successful gaming Grindhouse. And I want to welcome everybody as members when you hit that subscribe button and stuff, and being part of the chat to the Grindhouse. And with that, I will do our outro. Thank you again, everybody. Good night. Stay safe, and see you on the next show.